got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up. Don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, 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 don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up.
Comprou uma pena planta e não sabe por onde começar.
Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They've been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She at me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, script be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoe, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas, keep. You with me, sheesh. But need OG to keep. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes. but still lonely. They've been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We've been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, we saw the daily green dot on the altcoins with the 90-minute money flow crossover popping up on, almost every altcoin that we saw. We're starting to see those get the move to the upside. They're also all at their value area lows, potentially trying to get accepted into those ranges and maybe getting a big move to the upside. We got Ethereum breaking above its key doorway to higher prices. We got Bitcoin sitting at $103,000, the technical target that we were looking at in today's market update that I dropped earlier today. So shout out to anybody who saw that. But guys, we got some exciting stuff to look at here on Bitcoin. We got brand new altcoin charts. I was just staring at the screen for like 5 hours straight, remarking up all the altcoins. So we got some fresh charts to show you guys. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. Are we going to be able to make it up to that $105,000 current value area high target that we have on the charts? Are we on our way to all-time highs? What is going on? We're going to get a pullback. What the heck is going on? We're going to cover it all in today's live stream. So shout out to the CandleMafia. And, we even said screw the YouTube monetization. Not that we make that much from YouTube, but we played the Pump It Up song, guys. It was worth it. It was worth it. But shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to Alex said FOMO that like button, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. If we get 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, I think maybe we'll give away some Frankie Candles hats, maybe some crypto. I don't know. But smash that like button. It's the easiest and freest way to help support the channel if you appreciate the free education and the key levels that we give you here on the live stream. So shout out to you guys. We got Round Earth in the chat. We got Dave Hagen. What is going on? We got Ashi in the chat. Aussie Hippie TP. I don't know if that's a full word, but shout out to you, bro. Says party time, baby. Here we go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Shout out to Jay Violet. We got Flat Smack in the chat. Flat smacking those bears and pumping Bitcoin over 100K. Unbelievable, guys. We are now above that massive level of resistance. The biggest level on the chart we have now smashed above. And as we looked at yesterday, you guys know, if we flip that level, we were looking up towards $100,000. We swept the liquidity. Oh, it all played out so perfectly. So we're going to cover everything with you guys tonight. Shout out to the CandleMafia, guys. Show the mod some love in the chat. We got Rob the Crypto Snob, Crypto Billy, Chemistry Bro, Darren does things. I almost said Dan, dude. Dan does things. Darren does things. Tyler Durden, D Petty Crypto, Captain Kirk. You guys know who they are. Crypto Anon. Show them some love in the chat. And without further ado, shout out to D. Sean. And last but not least, Sweet Coil. Let's go, baby. Let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Here we go. All right, guys. Well, here we are. Unbelievable, guys. We came up to our massive level of resistance. We got a little bit of resistance at that point of control. Golden pocket. We got the pullback, but we knew that daily money flow was in the green. And yesterday, more specifically, we did have that daily green dot printing. This has just been, guys, the market cipher B116 strategies have been absolutely cooking lately. But obviously, we did have yesterday, before yesterday, we actually had the 8-hour green dot all the way over here, indicating that we were likely to get a pump back up to this POC. And we got that 8-hour green dot with the 30-minute money flow crossover, called the move to the money flow, called the move up there. And then, obviously, we did have the 12-hour, the 16-hour, you had all these other time frames following behind it. And more specifically, what we were looking at yesterday was that daily green dot with our 90-minute coming over into the green, crossing over into the green, giving us the prediction of getting a push into our value area high. And just from a simple volume profile perspective, guys, we just simply got above that value area low. Next likely place for price to go is that POC. And then once you get above that POC, especially with our macro level of resistance, we all know that was super, super important. That was a super, super important level to flip. And once we were able to get above that, we had that last level at 98.3. And to be quite honest, guys, we didn't even really get much of a reaction there, which is pretty nice. Being that we wanted to see Bitcoin come up here, TradingView just choking out on me here. Where is this is not my current chart. Yeah, it is. Okay. Where are those daily naked points of control? So we had that 98.3, the last daily naked point of control, and we pretty much almost had absolutely zero reaction there, right? We kind of came up, we got a little bit of a dip, but we hopped right on top of that, and we knew once we got above that level, that was that last zone of this entire or the last level within this entire zone of resistance. And once we get above there, we knew right above 99.5, guys. And this just goes to show when you understand where the liquidity is lying in the market, you can not only predict where price might get gravitated to, but what price might act like if a certain level is broken. And we all know, we've looked at the heat map so many times leading up to 99,500 because we knew that we had a lot of liquidity sitting there on the heat maps. Let me see. Do I actually have the heat map open here? Let me just pull that up really quickly, guys, because that was a big thing that we were looking at. I showed it on the market update earlier, and on every piece of content I've made over the past couple of ever since we left that $100,000 zone. Let me go ahead and pull up the 2-month time or the 3-month time frame here, so we could take a look at the heat map. But we knew, guys, that liquidity was not only likely to act as a magnet for price, but we knew that once we cracked above it, that might be where we start to see that big move, fast move to the upside, stopping out and liquidating all those shorts, giving a big push up through all those liquidations. And you can see literally resistance. We peak into that liquidity and an absolute explosion through that level. And if we take a look here on actual trading view, I mean, it is pretty crazy. This is that level at about 99.5. You come up, you front run it, you tap it, and once you break in, boom, you get that big aggressive move through all those liquidations, which we knew was very likely to give us that squeeze into our macro target, sitting here at the 786/value area high of our previous range. And just unbelievable, guys. We saw the volume profile play out once again with the bull divs at the low. This is where everyone gets bearish. You put in those high time frame bullish confirmations. You look for at least the retracement into the golden pocket POC, and then we know the importance of flipping that level would open up the door for Bitcoin to get the massive move up. And here we are, seeing that all play out. Now, we've already wicked up here to about 104,500. Now, we do have resistance above this value area high, guys. So I just want everybody to kind of realize that although this is bullish, right? And I mean, pretty much ever since we got those bull divs on the daily, right? We were looking for the push into the golden pocket retracement. But with our daily money flow in the green, we knew that any pullbacks were much more likely. We have to view that through the lens of lackluster pullbacks, higher lows, and then higher highs to come, right? And I do just want to point out that, could this Lambo candle to 120K? Maybe, but I would not expect that to come in, right? Obviously, this does, in my opinion, at this point, this 786 is technically the last level that would be the invalidation for the lower high here, because when we look for lower highs on the chart, guys, it typically comes in between the golden pocket and the 786 Fibonacci retracement. But because of all the confluence, I talked about this, yesterday and earlier today, with all the confluence of the strong resistance we had here and all those really important levels, breaking this level and getting above it is kind of the real level that I wanted to get above. And I will say the chances of putting in new all-time highs, and again, I'm not necessarily expecting it to happen from here. Tomorrow maybe we get a pullback and everyone's like, what the heck? It dumped. What the heck? Right? But price goes up and down, guys. It's all about context, and that's what the money flow helps us with. But at the end of the day, we're coming into the previous value area high. We have the 786. We have some daily naked points of controls up here. We do have a lot of resistance, not nearly as important as this level. But at the end of the day, guys, this does, breaking above that POC, does open the door and increase the probability very, very high, very a lot. Does increase the probability very much that we could potentially see all-time highs come in here for Bitcoin. But we do have to be careful because we are tapping against resistance, right? I am not looking for long positions up here at this point, right? Like, the only trades you could really look for here, and we say this every time we get a big pump or a big dump, I am not longing here, right? If you long here, could you get a push up and a new all-time highs? Maybe, but that's not really a consistently profitable strategy. Over time, you'll eventually lose more money than you make. But at the end of the day, really the only thing we can look for is potential shorts. However, just the same thing as when all our money flow crossed into the green, any shorts, even the shorts at the POC, had to be looked at as potential scalps for higher lows and higher highs based off that money flow, right? And I actually did take 2 shorts up in this zone. I took one right here. Actually wound up getting stopped out at break even there. And then I took another one right here as well. But again, not treating those as massive swings to zero, although this was an area that we could have put in a lower high and gotten the big drop down to make a new lower low. That was definitely possible. But if that were to happen, I was going to let that hit me by surprise. Because again, when your money flows in the green, you have to anticipate higher lows and higher highs. And we're going to take a look at the altcoins, guys. I got all the new charts, and a lot of the altcoins from yesterday that we looked at did exactly what we wanted. And to be quite honest, it wasn't really that, we weren't looking at anything too crazy, right? It was just the value area kind of theory, breaking above previous value area lows, moving to the POC, moving to the value area high. But the big thing yesterday, guys, and if you take anything away from this live stream today, I want you to take this, especially if you already have Market Cipher B. The Market Cipher B 1/16 strategies are absolutely goated lately. They've been calling a lot of these moves. And yeah, we did it live on the stream last night. And here we are with that big move to the upside. And again, that was the daily green dot with our 90-minute and 80-minute money flow crossovers, indicating that, hey, when you have that high time frame green dot and that 1/16th time frame, the time frame that is 1/16th lower than the main time frame, you're looking at that money flow. And when that money flow crosses into the green, that's where you're anticipating the continuation of your trend. Absolutely beautiful here. And then again, you you add in some liquidity, you understand all that liquidity sitting up there, you start adding in the volume profiles, and you start to get a really clear vision of what price is likely to do next. Now, as we tap into about $103,000, we're at resistance, right? This is our previous range value area low, 786 Fibonacci retracement. I don't think, let me see what else we have up here. We did have a daily up here. This is now tapped. We just ripped right through it. Absolutely beautiful to see. Money flow is just stepping on the daily levels here. Let's see. We have a monthly level up here as well, so that is a significant level of resistance. And then I do believe, we have a monthly naked point of control up here. So at this point, this is our next current level of resistance. And again, we looked at this a little while ago on the live stream, on the market update, and finally we pushed up there. But this is that first zone. This does sit between about 103.3 and 102.3. And we'll talk about a potential pullback coming in here. But, if we do continue up, as we've been looking at for weeks and weeks and weeks, you guys know we do have the current range volume profile, right? This one was pulled from November 11th all the way to right before we really lost the range here on March 5th. But if we continue up, we break above this volume profile, we'll say our current value area high of the range when pulled to almost current price action. It's not actually pulled to the actual current price action. Let me actually move this, see how much. Yeah, it doesn't really change, so I'm just going to leave it where it was. But you can see here, our next major target will be up at the current value area high, which sits just above the previous value area high, sitting between about 104.6 and 105.6. And there is a lot more confluence up here. Remember, previous value area has the 786 confluent with the value area high, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little resistance here. But if we do wind up continuing up here, I would expect a potential fill of the current volume profile into our next level between 105.6 and 104.6. It's really weird, right? Like the previous range volume profile, the key levels are 102.3 and 103.3. And then the current one, we have 104.6 and 105.6. Kind of interesting. But at that current value area high, we do have a bunch of levels, right? It's not just a 786 and a value area high. Up here, we have the value area high, a monthly naked point of control, which is typically a pretty big key level that I like to look at. This is a high time frame level, and it's also a naked point of control. Naked points of controls are typically very strong for a reaction, and when you have a monthly naked point of control, it's a high time frame and a naked point of control, so you kind of get like double resistance, not double resistance, but it's a pretty significant level. Then you also have a daily naked point of control, so yeah, definitely our next big target to the upside would be sitting there, leading up to about $105,500. And then above that, if we really want to talk about that, and again, are we likely to get turbulence up here? I would say, I'm not going to say, we're guaranteed to get a big dump or anything like that, but, getting resistance in these levels, a little bit of chop would not be unlikely in my opinion, right? And then once we do wind up getting the bigger breakout, I do just want to cover some of these higher levels that we have above us, just so you guys are ready in case we do just kind of get a crazy pump to the upside. Let's see. Bada boom. Let me just pull up. No dailies, no weeklies, no monthlies. We have a weekly naked point of control up here. So, technically, if I were to give you guys kind of like a little bonus level, this is like really the last level of defense here before breaking the highs, right? So let me go ahead and mark that off purple, sitting between about 107,757 and 109.17. That is pretty much up to the value area high. And actually, let me go ahead and pull up the heat map here. Let's zoom out a bit. I'm going to pull up, let's pull up the 6 month real quick and see if we can see what the liquidity looks like up there. Yeah, the higher time frames are a little bit more difficult. They're not as like... Yeah, we do have liquidity up there, right? We had the giant chunk right here. We came up and swept that. We have a little bit up here now above about $106,000. And then, it's just not as, it's not as clean looking as it is on the lower time frames. They do just get a little bit spotty on the higher time frames. But yeah, you have the liquidity there. You do have some liquidity sitting, again, starting above this high at about 107,000, and then really the liquidity starts to pick up at about 111,000. That's probably where we have a lot of stop losses sitting. So yeah, above us, we continue up to this value area high. Like I said, this is typically where we're looking for shorts. Now, we will be looking for shorts up here, guys, but they are going to be looked at as scalps until proven otherwise, right? Because we're at a value area high. This is just not really the time, this is really the time where you want to look for some kind of a rejection, right? So at the end of the day, we could get some turbulence up here, but if we do break out, that last level ends at about the all-time high almost, right? Weekly naked point of control, $109,000. Once we get above there, just like when we got above 98,000 or I'm sorry, once we got right above 98,300, we knew that was going to open up the door to potentially come into these value area highs. Very similarly, if we get above 109,000, that is going to open the door, in my opinion, to start working our way into a new all-time high at about 118,256 and 124,575. Now, again, I don't want to like start all the FOMO. Oh my God, we're going to new all-time highs tomorrow. Like I said, the way this plays out is anybody's guess. We could wind up spending a decent amount of time back in this range. Maybe we get the bigger pullback, right? So there's like a million different scenarios that could play out here. But yeah, that would be the last level of defense. Just like 98.3 was the doorway to 103 to 105K, the $109,000 weekly naked point of control. And I mean, it really does start at the daily naked at 107.8. But once we get above there, not much in the way, literally nothing in the way of potentially bringing us back up to those fib levels. So that is going to be the next target if we do put it in a new all-time high at some point soon. Very likely, this is not going to happen overnight. We'll talk again tomorrow. We'll probably have to deal with more boring price action or maybe another dump. It's going to get scary. It's going to be confusing. But those are the key levels that I'm watching to the upside. And again, guys, volume profiles, money flow, liquidity are totally overpowered when you can combine these things all together. More often than not, I mean, not even more often than not, literally every single type of prediction or any kind of target that I'm looking at is all based off this TA. We teach it here every single weekday for free. And yeah, and you know, it's fun when we get to look at something. We see those altcoin green dots on the daily, the 90-minute money flow crossing over into the green. It's nice to come on here and be like, oh my God, we got it to play out. Super, super nice. Let's see. First correction to 90K. Or I should read that as a question because that's what it was. But yeah, listen, I mean, we're going to have to take this level to level, right? I mean, at this point, we knew if we broke this, we were likely to come up into these value area highs. This is resistance, right? So we have to see what kind of reactions we get here. What are the lower time frames going to look like on Market Cipher B? So we do have to take it level to level. I think, you know, at this point, a pullback to, you know, 91K. We do have a CME gap down there. Not all CME gaps need to get filled. But, you know, just right now, at this point, right, we are above all this massive resistance. The only reason, that 90K wouldn't be the first place I look for a big pullback is because we flipped this massive level of resistance to support. Right? Or I should say we broke through it, right? We might have to come back down and test this a little bit. But when you break these key levels, guys, when you have such a strong level of resistance, the beautiful thing about this is that, you know, sure, it could give you a little bit of turbulence on the way up. And maybe, you know, this could have, at the end of the day, wound up being the bigger rejection for the macro lower high and a massive lower low, right? And technically, if we don't reclaim the 786, that is still technically in play. But again, the context of this really, really strong level, the fact that we're above this now makes me feel good because if we do come down and test, we now have all that support below us. Right? It went from resistance, and, you know, when you break above resistance, you come back down, it becomes support, right? And we even visualize this on the VPVR, looking at the high volume node. Super, super clean way to look at price action without having to have a ton of lines on your chart. If you're ever, like, feeling overwhelmed with all the TA you have on your chart, just pull up the visible range volume profile, hide your TA, and just, like, look at what the volume is doing, right? And just kind of understand where your high volume nodes are, where your low volume nodes are, right? We knew once we broke below these lows, we would likely get a fast crash to the downside. That was partially based off liquidity as well as the big low volume gap we had down here, right? And then on the way back up, you look at this and you say, well, hey, that low volume gap is now sitting above. If we break these highs, we might be able to start that bigger move up. And now we have this super, super, super high volume node sitting here at that 97K level that we've been looking at forever. And we knew, right, once you get above this, right, it's going to give you some turbulence, but if you can get above it and flip it to support, we have all this now down underneath us, right? It's almost like I don't know. I don't really know how to say this, right? Like I'm trying to think of like a metaphor or something or an analogy. Like if you're you know, if there's a hole in your ceiling, right, it might be really hard to like climb up and pull yourself through that hole. But once you get above it, if you fall on the floor, you're going to land on the floor, which used to be the ceiling. Does that make sense? Right? Like if you're looking at you know, if this is your ceiling, you have a hole here, it might be really hard to like pull yourself up. But once you get up here, if you fall down, you're going to land on that floor now. Right? So it's the same thing with price. When you look at this, it's like, hey, we get, you know, little turbulence. Oh my God, it's hard. It's hard. Once you get above it though, as long as we can hold above this level, higher highs, higher lows and higher highs. And like I said, possibility of a new all-time high has greatly increased by being above this level. Doesn't guarantee it, right? But it does greatly increase it, like I said. So, you know, very, very nice to see. So that's why I wouldn't instantly look down to $90,000 at this point. The POC of the range, all these naked points of controls, this high volume node is now going to be big, big support. So if, right, we are at a value area high, right? So if we do wind up getting bearish confirmations, maybe we deviate, we come back into the range, we cool off. At that point, right, you might be looking at something like your Fibonacci retracements pulled from the swing low to the swing high. Maybe your golden pocket is confluent with there in the opposite direction at that point. So if we did start to get a correction, this would really be the first big level that I'd look at. Again, sitting between about $98,000 and $95,000 with the 97K POC in the middle, right? Because we don't know, right? Are we going to get the full fill of that range again? Or, if money flow continues to the upside and we could see the bullish momentum continue, maybe we get some bullish news, that would be looked at as, well, hey, what's money flow doing on the higher time frames? If we have the 2-day money flow crossing into the green, maybe we're going to look for a higher low, and this would be a huge level to hold as support. So that's really why I wouldn't be looking directly down to 90K. But at the end of the day, right, if we do lose that $97,000 POC, this high volume node, the next key level below that at that point would be between about $92,000 and $91,000. And if you look at your current range, right, we know that value area low actually does slip down just a little bit the one that we were just looking at, $89,500, right? So it's kind of that $92,000 to $90,000-ish zone, which could be another key level of support. Maybe we just deviate again, then we finally get the big fill, right? And then a break into all-time highs. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out. But again, when you look at it in terms of volume profiles, we don't have to assume that like this is going to be the break into all-time highs. I do think it does greatly increase the chances. However, it doesn't matter. We just have to take it, level to level, right? We'll see. If we get the cool off, we can look for the higher low potentially. And pretty crazy here. Volume profiles will absolutely change your life. I promise you that. That's one thing I can promise you 100%. I can't promise the TA will play out every single time, but the volume profiles, oh, baby. Let's see. Shout out to Multi-Sig Dummy said, here for the fettuccine. Let's go. Shout out to Multi-Sig Dummy. We got Tony cooking fettuccine in the back. LFG, 90K support all day. Yeah, absolutely, right? Like at this point, right, the biggest key levels on the chart right now, guys, are just very simply, right? I know there's a lot on the chart here, but if you ever get confused, just turn everything off. Look at your volume profile, right? Whoops, don't hide it. But just look at your volume profile, right? Break up. I mean, you can't make it up, man. You can't make it up. Value area low. Get above the value area low. POC is the next stop. Little turbulence. Once you get above the POC, value area high is next. Very simply put, right? Obviously, all the context, understanding how important this level was to flip, all that context, all the money flow analysis, all the local key levels that we look at for scalps, those are important. But for the major moves here, volume profile every single day, right? Insane. And it did actually, this reminds me of any time we fill a macro profile, right? Like even bringing it back down to, or back over to 2021, right? We had the macro volume profile pulled from the bull market, right? And we knew once we deviated below here, this is undervalued price. We had weekly bullish divergences down here. And then we knew once we got back up to that value area low and flipped that to support, we're going to anticipate the POC of the range, little bit of turbulence, get above the POC, you go to the high and beyond, right? So it does look very similar to that. It also looks very similar to any volume profile that we look at. Like even if you look at this one down here, right, this large 7-month consolidation, right? You get the move down to the low. You get 2-day bullish divergences. I'm not going to pull up the time frame maybe I will. But you deviate below the low, right? You get massive bullish divergences, higher time frame, lower lows, higher lows. You come in, you fake back to the downside, you get a 786 golden pocket retracement, flip the value area low to support, POC, get above the POC, and then we get the breakout, right? So hopefully we can see it play out like that. I can't guarantee it, right? Like I said, even back here, we looked at this as resistance. We broke above the value area high. We got the cool off to the POC, and then we got the breakout, right? So it's, just simple volume profile theory, guys. Like it's I know there's a lot to look at on a chart. I know there's all different strategies and stuff, but, just keeping it simple, in hindsight, not even in hindsight, in foresight and hindsight, just nice, clean breaks of these levels. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Jason Casper in the chat. What is going on, bro? Thank you for the super chat. He said, we made it, guys. Can't wait to tell my mom. Jason, I already called my mom, dude. I just got off the phone with her. I couldn't wait. She's like, that Bitcoin, you're going to lose everything with that Bitcoin, Frankie. I'm telling you. You get degenerate. You're going to lose everything. Look at me now, Ma. Look at me now. I'm just kidding. Shout out to Jason Casper, bro. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you hanging out with us here. Super, super exciting. What do you think, bro? You think we're going all-time highs? You think we got a big correction incoming? Let me know what you think. Let's see. Let me make sure I didn't miss any other super. Oh, yo, shout out to Golden in the chat. Let's go, baby. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, under no circumstances are you or Mrs. Candles allowed to help a dog while walking, driving, training, busing, airplaning, or sunbathing. We can't risk it right now. You know what I'm talking about. Buy a rescue shelter after the new all-time high. Shout out to Golden. Yeah, we did get the Finding the Lost Dogs, guys, does end up giving us dumps to the downside more often than not. Where basically, I think we're 4 for 5 on that. And I did recently find a lost dog, and I actually think we did pull back after I found that dog, but it wasn't a massive dump, which is good. Usually they're mega dumps. So yeah, I'm gonna just not leave the studio for the next until we're at super new all-time highs. Oh man, let's see. Yo, shout out to Jason, bro. Jason said Frankie's mom is Dolores, bro. I always say, bro, I think I said this when you were on the show one time. When you talk about Dolores from the diner, bro, I know so many of those Doloreses in real life in New York, bro. My mom definitely has a strong Long Island accent. So, yeah, she probably could pass for Dolores, bro. Shout out to Jason, bro. That's funny, man. But yeah, let's see. Bada boom. No dogs allowed for now. Shout out to Codon. Yeah, we're going to try to stay away from the dogs, guys. Yo, shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat. Said gravity, buddy. We call it gravity. Shout out to Creighton C. Hopefully gravity takes a break too. No gravity until 150K, guys. No gravity. Somebody turn off the gravity. Moon suits and zero gravity until 150K. That's our new motto. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat, bro. And if you know gravity, if you could tell him to kick rocks for a little bit, that would be great. Let's see. Elliot says, what a day, man. New Pope and now this. Shout out to Elliot. Hugo says, the fresh fade brought the pump. That's actually true, too. Ever since I got a haircut, I can't let the hair get too long, guys. I don't know. It's just not good. But yeah, shout out to ADD Dad in the chat. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. But yeah, this is, these are the key levels I'm watching right now, guys. We are at the target we looked at earlier today in the market update. And now we break above that. We're just looking at that current volume profile. Again, 104.6 to 105.6. And then we just have a little bit of a couple of extra little lingering MPOCs up here. But other than that, we could look for little pullbacks. And if we do get a correction, I will just say, biggest level of support right now, that same zone, that was the key resistance, right? Like I said, is level does sit, POC sits at about 97K, but the entire zone does actually sit at about, where we at? Let me pull up. Yeah, this whole zone does actually sit between about 98.3 and 95.541. But really, like, the key level to watch in there is the POC. Sure, it could act as a magnet, right? We suck below it, come back up. You never know. But that is really the biggest level, right? As long as we stay above that POC, we do have an opportunity to potentially come back up, attack that all-time high or value area high, and then potentially break into new all-time highs. And again, taking a look at the daily money flow crossover into the green, 2-day green dot printing, money flow trying to follow behind. If we get that 2-day money flow, guys, that might be what we need for that 2-day money flow to cross over into the green to start to push some of these other higher daily time frames with the money flow back up in a deeper green wave. Because at the end of the day, when we look at those higher time frames, 3-day, 4-day, 4-day actually came up pretty decently, right? 4-day money flow came back up pretty good. 3-day money flow is kind of just trending out still. 5-day money flow came back up in a big way. Kind of weird that the 4 and the 5-day came up, but the 3-day didn't. That's usually the opposite. 6-day money flow tried to come back up, and our weekly money flow still kind of, we didn't come up and break the trend here, right? We still have a lower high here. This is another lower high. So, this takes a long time for this high time frame money flow to turn around. But that's why I say daily money flow crossing into the green could leak into the 2-day. 2-day money flow crossing into the green could lead into the 3-day coming back up. And then for some reason, the 4 and 5-day came up pretty big, which is nice to see. You can see we broke this lower high. So that's what you really want to see on a money flow fake out. But at the end of the day, the weekly, technically, VWAP rolling over, money flow still trending to the downside. But you just have to understand this. The information takes a long time to kind of show up on such a high time frame. So keeping an eye on the daily and the 2-day right now. The next thing we want for the more bullish continuation of the upside, even if we cool off, we want that daily money flow to stay in the green, and we would love to see that 2-day money flow cross over into the green, and that fresh 2-day green dot. Very, very nice to see. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's pretty dangerous in my opinion, right, to just try to continue to fade an extreme move like this. But when we look at this, our VWAPs are starting to come down on the medium hourly time frames, right? We are coming into resistance. 5-hour VWAP is coming down, looking for a red dot. Money flow coming in the right direction, though. 4-hour red dot also potentially looking to print here somewhat soon, right? Got a little support on the 0 line, but once these medium hourly time frame red dots print, that might be where we see a little bit more of a cool off. And yeah, like I said, biggest level of support that I would like to be looking at is going to be, 100K psychological, sure. But at the end of the day, like from a technical standpoint, that POC, we just stay above that POC. I'm feeling pretty good, right? We lose that POC, it gets a little more bearish, right? Because now we're losing that large level of resistance on top of losing the POC of the range, which would call for the value area low, right? So that's why it's still a huge level. It was an important level going up, and now it's going to be an important level if we come back down. I'm not going to cover every single nitty-gritty little level for every single scalp here. It's just going to take too long, confuse a lot of people. But yeah, very, very beautiful to see here, guys. Nice and clean levels. So yeah, value area high, 105,300. POC about 96,755. Value area low, 89,500. Let's see. Shout out to Creighton C said looks like Operation Ghost Candle paid out. Paid off. Shout out to Jason Gasper. We secretly went behind the scenes, guys. Jacked it up 100x leverage, full port with a secret group of Bitcoin whales. Let's go. Let's see. How's ETH? Yeah, we're gonna take a look at ETH. I'll keep an eye here on Bitcoin. I'm just going to set an alert here just above us in case we do push into that next target. And I will put an alert just below the 786 so we can come back and check on that if we do get pushed back to the downside. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the altcoins, guys, because when we take a look at Ethereum, let me pull up the new chart here. As you guys know, when we look at Ethereum, we know that, well, first off, I'll bring up the mini range that we were looking at, right? So this volume profile, as we deviated below, this is also the POC of our bear market range. So this is like a very key level, not only a value area low locally, but also a POC within the larger volume profile. But when we look at this from that mini volume profile perspective, we know once we get above that value area low, next likely place to go is that POC. And even on the live stream, we looked at this and talked about, hey, we're just kind of wiggling around here at the POC. But oftentimes, the more times you tap on a level, the more likely it is for that level to open up and give you that move through, right? Next target to the upside for this was obviously the value area high. We almost got no reaction there. We got a very slight reaction on like a lower time frame. You can see, tap your head on the POC a million times, break above it, sucked right up to that value area high. Got the little rejection, and now we're getting the break out of this range, which is exactly what we need because as you guys know, this wasn't really the important level we needed to break, right? This was not the level that was going to get me out of bed for Ethereum, but what was very simply the 2021 value area low, the doorway to higher prices, the value area low of our previous bull market range. This is the key level to break, right? Because sure, you could have come up above this value area, got accepted back in, but this is really the level that we wanted to get above. Is a level we've been watching, $2,100, and the reason for that is because once you get accepted into this low, upper value area low, hold this as support. POC is very next at $2,300, and to be honest, we already came up to $2,224. Right, so you almost got the instant push into the POC, but this opens up the door for a massive, massive move if we can stay in here, right? Again, I'm not necessarily anticipating an instant Lambo candle, but, as long as we can stay inside this value area, POC 2335 is the next stop. Flip that POC to support. We have some other key levels in here. I'm actually going to talk about them in a minute, but at the end of the day, that value area high / macro golden pocket retracement is sitting between about 3,066 and 3148, and then the value area high 786 confluence is sitting up at about 3531. So this is perfect. I'll be honest, I did not think that we would need to be talking about this today. I am super happy we are. But at the end of the day, this was the high, right? This gives us a high time frame break of highs, right? This is like another reason why I wanted to see a break above this level. Because, when you come up to this value area high, there's still an opportunity to kind of just continue getting those lower highs and lower lows. But once we start closing some candles above these highs inside this value area, guys, we might be able to get accepted into our bigger area of balance, which would be absolutely beautiful. Now, we do have some, it wouldn't be the next instant target above the POC, wouldn't just be the golden pocket and then the value area high. We're also going to have some major key levels in between. So if we pull our anchored VWAP from the all-time high, or not the all-time high, but from this most recent high, $2,500 does seem to be a pretty key level. We have an anchored VWAP. We also have our value. Actually, this is a little bit further away, but let me actually, so we have our anchored VWAP, and let me pull up some of these daily naked points of controls real quick. Let's take up the upper range, daily naked point of control. You have a pocket of daily naked points of controls. This is definitely going to come down as we work our way up. So that might end up being confluent with our daily naked point of control at 2450. Let's take a look at the weeklies, the monthlies. Yeah, we have a monthly naked point of control between 25 and 2,800 bucks. Is a pretty important level, right? We also have this little mini volume profile right here. That's confluent with the value area high. POC, value area low is not very confluent. But yeah, I would just pay attention to this anchored VWAP. Again, pull it from the previous high here. And let me pull some fibs real quick. That's our full retracement. Let's pull from this lower high real quick. Yeah, so we're hitting that golden pocket right now. If we get above that POC 786, yeah, so I would just watch this. Let me pull up the daily real quick. Yeah, because at 24, right, we have this daily level right here, which is actually not marked. Why is this not marked? Boom. Daily level sitting right here. Anchored VWAP. And the daily naked point of control. So yeah, right now between about 24 and I would say 25-ish, that $100. That's going to be like once you get above the POC, that might give you a little bit of a hang up in my own personal opinion, right? But overall, not looking at the all the local stuff. Very exciting to be attempting to get back inside this value area. You know, we could easily get a little rejection back out, but once we reclaim, flip that POC, get above that anchored VWAP, could be working our way through that volume profile. Same exact thing as Bitcoin. Right? You deviate below the volume profiles. This is your undervalued price. Fair value lives within the profile. Underneath is undervalued. Above is overvalued. This is why every time people are super scared and afraid of the bear market, we are not bearish, right? We are looking for bounces. We are looking for bullish confirmations at the lows. And we look at it through this context because we know if we get accepted back into that range, it could be a big move up. Same thing here, right? Hit your head, flip the value area low to support, POC. Value area high. Hopefully we see something this aggressive. I don't know if it's going to be like that, but yeah, that's what we're looking at on Ethereum. Very nice. And again, yesterday, daily green dot with money flow crossing into the green on the daily now too, which by the way, right, come back over to Bitcoin real quick. Below the macro value area, wiggle your way to the upside, break above the value area low, money flow crosses into the green, full fill of the range. Is Ethereum about to follow? I hope so, right? It doesn't guarantee that it's going to happen, right? I know obviously there's a lot of things that could affect the market right now. But, like I said, no one's, and when the other big thing down here is everybody was saying ETH is dead, right? And not that, pushing up here means it's not dead. Not at all. Just because this pump does not mean it's not dead. But again, like when you start hearing everybody saying that the coin's dead, it's never coming back, it's usually close to the bottom, right? Now, I will just cover the bearish case as well. Just understand, like I feel really good if we could hold above this value area low. It's the massive level we've been watching. But if we do break back down into the bear market range, just understand, let me get rid of these levels. These have been smashed through, not too shabby. But just understand, right, like if we do get rejected out of that range, the key level to hold is the POC right here, right? 1628. We lose 1628, probably headed down to about $1,300. And again, we'll cross that bridge if and when we get there. But right now, we're above that value area low. Let's see if we can hold in there, right? Let's see. And they're usually wrong. Shout out to Codon. Yeah, listen, I have faded ETH before for the same reason that everybody hates on ETH right now. It's slow. There's better stuff out there. And I've faded in the past, and it's just still pumps, right? It's like, I've been in that camp being like, what the heck, man? Like, why is this thing pumping? So I hopefully, eventually maybe it doesn't get taken over. I don't know. But, hopefully it's not going to be this one. Hopefully it's not going to be this cycle. Let's see. What are you going to be looking for with ETH to stay above $4,000 finally? I'm not 100% sure exactly what you mean, what I'll be looking for it to stay above $4,000. But let's see. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean by what I'll be looking for it to hold. But value area high sits at about $3,500. I mean, you get back to $4,000. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you break above $4,000. All you have left is this like little mini upper range. Do I still have this marked on the chart? I might not. I do. Oh no, I don't. Upper range. I do not. But this is another thing that you can look for, right, on the way back up. Like if you want to like break it down to more like key levels, right, or I should say local levels, you could hide your 2021 range and just look at this, right? Like, so you have to understand the big profile is there. That's like kind of the simple thing to look at. Stay above the value area low, flip the POC, flip the anchored VWAP. At that point, $2,900, you have this next volume profile that you can look at locally to kind of predict what's going to happen there. You know, well, hey, if I could crack above $2,900 in the grand scheme of the 2021 profile, it's like, well, hey, you know, there's nothing really there within the bigger profile, but the local profile, well, hey, I know that's a value area low. So I can now look at these highs, right? Or this level here at $2,900 is a key level of resistance to flip to support. I could say to myself, once I flip that to support, it greatly increases the chances of coming up to that local POC and then the value area high of the macro range and potentially even that local range, right? Getting closer to about $4,000. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But overall, macro volume profile here is what we're looking at. We're getting above that doorway to higher prices. Is it going to be true like it typically is, like it was for Bitcoin? Are we going to see the same thing? But again, you know, this is not something that, you know, don't take my word for it. Just look what has happened in the past and what we look for before these things happen. Typically, that is what happens. That's what we thought here with Bitcoin potentially getting above that 97, looking to the value area high. It played out, right? Doesn't guarantee it on ETH, but, you know, hey, probabilities. It's all about probabilities, guys. You don't have to be 100% right 100% of the time. So, yeah, very nice. Shout out to Ethereum. Taking a look at the monthly real quick. We do have the VWAPs below the zero line on the monthly, right? This will be nice as well because as we start to see the daily money flow cross into the green, we might be starting to flip a little bit, right? We start pushing up. All those bullish signals are going to leak into the higher time frames, and it's really nice to see that monthly is already below the zero line trying to curve up, right? It's going to take a long time to develop, but we could just say to ourselves, if those lower time frames start to work us up, by the time these start to cool off, we might be high enough where it's like, well, hey, now we have the monthly green dot printing. So at that point, any pullback could be looked at as like, hey, lackluster. If that monthly green dot prints, I mean, monthly green dots are no joke. We had one up here, boom. We had one right here, boom. One back here, you can't see that. One back here, boom. Right? So these monthly green dots are really nothing to mess around with. It's not printing just yet. But like I said, it's nice to see that VWAP's already below the zero line. If we had this rolling over to the downside, I'd be much more concerned. Because then I would be looking at it as, well, hey, like any of these low time frame pumps could just get stepped on. That monthly red dot might give us another lower low. But as of right now, it's nice to see that VWAP has already been below the zero line. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. It's looking pretty good as of right now. Let's see. Shout out to Sonny. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, I opened a 500 Solana 50x long at 101. Will take profit when Sol hits $300. Shout out to Sonny. Let's take a look at Solana as well. Like I said, I just redid all of these charts. I got them nice and organized here. Let me pull up the macro range here. So obviously, guys, as we've been looking at on Solana, same exact context as Bitcoin. We broke above the value area low. We expected the POC. We broke above the POC. And recently on the streams, we've been looking at that point of control slash golden pocket. Where is my, there we go. We have the golden pocket, 786 down here, pulled from the swing low to the swing high locally. POC confluence with that fib. This is key support. That's why we have that key level there. As long as we stayed above here, the next likely target for Solana was going to be this purple box between 158.75 and 167.20. We are testing the 786, and if we pull up our anchored VWAP, you could see here, this is what started that zone of resistance. Anchored VWAP at 158, 786 at 162.29, value area high at 166.71. Here we are. Literally looked for this move yesterday, sitting right in our zone. If we continue up, technically 167 is going to be the next stop, but we are starting to tap into some resistance here, right? We don't have a daily, we don't have a weekly naked point of control, we don't have a weekly level, we don't have a monthly. Yeah, so we actually do have a daily naked point of control here as well. No monthly MPOC. Let's pull this up here. Yeah, so we are hitting some resistance here. Not impossible to give a little pullback, but at the end of the day, flipping that anchored VWAP would be huge. Flipping this anchored VWAP would be very, very, very nice. If we could stay above that, I think the value area high is very likely. And again, at the end of the day, until we hit that value area high, as long as we stay above that POC, going to be anticipating that value area high to eventually come in, even if we get little pullbacks, right? Put another higher low, higher high, push into that value area high. And then above that, right, like I don't want to get too carried away here, but above that, if we do break out of the value area high at 166.72, we could be looking up towards this this upper volume profile. Let me actually just pull that. Actually, Yeah, let me pull up some key there. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, once we get out of there, you do have a daily at about 178, but after that, I mean, this value area high, I mean, this value area above, this upper value area, this higher value area, not value area high, this is coming in value area low at about $190. So, once we flip that anchored VWAP, start breaking out of our current range that we're at, flip that daily. I mean, this would be a massive, massive volume profile to break inside, right? So that is that's the upper value that I'm looking at. Break out of here. Price is impulsing, right? Where's it going to go? It's either going to create new value, but more often than not, it is going to seek out previous value, which is up here, right? So that's what I'll be looking at on Solana, but right now, not looking too shabby. Held that perfect higher low we were looking at. And again, same sign as all the other altcoins we looked at yesterday. Daily green dot, 90-minute money flow crossover into the green. Can that push us into our next target, guys? Well, we said that yesterday, and here we are. Very beautiful. So, yeah, let me actually pull this local fib real quick. This is honestly... Okay, let me see this one. Yeah, so maybe we come back down and test those highs if we're going to continue the uptrend. But just be careful. It's going to depend if we hit that value area high. Because remember, if we come into that value area high, this is really where you want to be, either looking for scalp shorts. You could still remain bullish, right? But you wouldn't be looking like just to enter along on that bit massive green candle, right? So, yeah, that is pretty much what I'm looking at on Solana. Money flow and market size for B look exactly like everything else. Again, weekly money flow, not the prettiest thing in the world here. VWAP kind of not overextended, but, just above that zero line there. Money flow is technically trending out. 2-day money flow trying to come up. Looks the same as Bitcoin. I don't want to get repetitive here. It does look pretty much the same thing as Bitcoin. 4-day money flow crossover back into the green, though. That is nice. So, yeah, like I said, these high time frames take a lot of time to develop. And, again, monthly VWAP below the zero line, right? Like this is, I always say this, right? When a lot of people get like really bullish at lows, I always tell them, like, look at money flow, look at the VWAPs. Like, when you have money flow about to cross into the red, that's not what you want to see for a massive move up. Just like the monthly VWAP, right? Like, if you want a big move up, you don't want the monthly VWAP to be crossing over downward towards the zero line, right? You want it to be rolling up. This supports that, right? So that monthly green dot prints, that might be, again, you might get some turbulence, whatever, but, a monthly green dot might be the next thing to push us up into new highs. Nice to see. Even if we cool off more, because these higher daily time frames are probably going to print, 2-day green dot printing, 4-day or 3-day VWAP getting support. But yeah, just be careful. We are definitely now in our target resistance zone here, so just be careful. But yeah, overall, money flow on the daily and the 2-day, hopefully. You might have some daily bear divs here as well. But overall, with money flow, 2-day money flow comes into the green. 4 days already there. I don't know. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad, right? But just understand there's a difference between being bullish and expecting instant up, right? Like, we are at resistance. Just remember that. Hopefully, we could just smash through it. But, I know I have a very bullish sentiment right now and have had that since the bull divs at the low. But, again, like, I'm bullish, but we're at resistance, right? So, Don't get too overzealous. Let's see. Cardano. Yeah, we're going to take a look at Cardano in a second. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Shout out to Gibby says, you did say before the bull market in an interview or something that if you had 10K that you should buy ETH. Shout out to Gibby. Yeah, that's typically the general recommendation for a new person, right? Especially back then, right? The thought process is oh, what should I buy, right? To be quite honest, you're going to be best off investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? It's the two highest market cap coins. Obviously, the altcoins did not catch the bid that we thought it was going to catch, as early as we thought. But yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum is usually just the general recommendation. It's if you have a large amount of capital, I typically just tell people I would probably stick to Bitcoin, right? But, if you have a little bit less capital, getting a 5x on your money or a 6x on your money, whatever it winds up being, it's not necessarily the most exciting thing, right? You have to kind of decide, how much capital do you have? How much risk are you willing to take? If you have a little more risk and you're not investing millions of dollars, right? If a rich uncle came to me and said, hey, I want to buy some crypto, I'm not going to tell him to buy Fartcoin, right? I'm going to tell him to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. But obviously, the altcoins all got, totally bled out here against Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance skyrocketed. But yeah, I hold a lot of ETH as well. And at the end of the day, to be quite honest, right, Ethereum could still go to zero, right? Like, just because I hold Ethereum doesn't mean it has to go to $1 million, right? So, yeah, it's just usually like the typical recommendation. Let's see. Smash the like if your bags are green. Shout out to Chemistry, bro. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's see. Shout out to Base Bailey, said, would you rather hold SUI or ETH? Also, how long do you think the market will stay up for? And how do you think Bitcoin dominance will go? Shout out to Base Bailey. I hold both SUI and ETH. I mean, in hindsight, of course, if I put all the money I had in ETH in SUI, I'd probably be a little bit better off. But obviously, hindsight's 2020. But I hold both of them. Let's see. Shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, your analogy, the ceiling, falling, gravity, the POC is gravity. It's hard to pull away from everything when everything revolves around it, but break away from it and use slingshot like a comet. The POC, always the most mass, the sun. I like that. Yeah, it's like 100%, right? Like if the POC is like an orbit, right? Like you get stuck on it, but once you get like let go from it, you kind of slingshot. That's actually a really, really good way to explain it. Shout out to Creighton C. There we go. I'm going to steal that, Creighton C. I'll always give you credit, but I'm definitely going to use that now. All right, let's see. How do I feel about XRP? Yeah, we'll take a look at XRP. We took a look at Solana. We took a look at Ethereum. I'm going to take a look at Cardano. We'll take a look at Dogecoin. But real quick, let's take a look at XRP. This is actually one of the charts that I did not update yet, but it doesn't matter because all these levels are valid. So as you guys know, right, on Ethereum, on XRP, obviously, we have been looking. All right, guys, we got the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water back, by the way. When we're pumping, we're drinking the Aztecian Cactus Moss Water. Let's go. Brian Varney said, Julio said, you can't spell wealth without alt, my hero. Wow, that's good. I like that. Shout out to Brian Varney. We didn't look at SEI yet. We can take a look at SEI. Balloon stuck underwater. I like that too. That's really nice. Lost dog signal invalidated. Yeah, we're only 4 for 5 now. Okay, so let's continue on. Okay. So on XRP, obviously, guys, very similar to everything else, right? Like this is what we looked at yesterday. A lot of these altcoins we're either in their value areas testing, and this wasn't yesterday, but I'm just saying, inside their value areas, retesting their value area lows, or some of them were a little bit deeper into their volume profile, right? But again, that makes the key level of support the value area low. As long as we hold above this value area low, and this still stands true in my opinion, right? As we start to pull back, it's like, well, hey, as long as we stay above the anchored VWAP value area low, this could be the move up to the POC, right? As long as we stay above this, the doorway to the point of control is open. And that key target to the upside is going to remain 237 to 244. Right here, right? We flip that POC. Eventually, right, this is resistance, strongest level within the profile. But once you flip it to support, just like Bitcoin, right? It's exactly what Bitcoin did. We came up, we cooled off, we got above, and boom. Same thing on XRP. I'll give you this range and read it out for you guys. Value area low at 205, POC at 240, value area high at 264. Did I say value area high down here? Value area low, 205, value area high, 266, POC sitting at 240. And again, right, we have this golden pocket sitting here from the high to the low. Golden pocket is resistance. Once we get above that golden pocket, you're going to anticipate the 786. And as long as we're above the value area low, you're going to anticipate the POC. So this is definitely the next target to the upside for XRP. We get above it, 260. 264, 263, 264 could come in at the value area high. If we lose the value area low, key level of support still remains at this point, right? When we pull from the low to the high, golden pocket weekly horizontal, right? So if we do come down here, again, I would much prefer to hold this anchored VWAP value area low, very important level. If we lose that level, you have an opportunity to come down here to the golden pocket weekly, but at that point, it's, you're back down below the value area low. You could look for longs down here potentially. Maybe we go down for one more retracement before finally sending it. But you just have to be aware that the value area low above you could wind up being resistance, right? If we wind up losing, bearish retest, drop to the downside. So yeah, that'd be the next key level I'm looking at though. But I would really much prefer hold this value area low, send this thing up. It's exciting, guys. I don't know. It's if we break all-time highs again, we're gonna talk a million times before we see new all-time highs. But if we break out here, next target not all-time high, 315, but wind up breaking the all-time high. 416 to 450 might be the next target. $5 definitely realistic. And then when we get to $5, we'll reassess the situation and see if we can make it up towards 850, 1150, and 1481. And again, I'm not saying this is going to happen tomorrow, right? We could potentially get another pullback, right? Another pullback, and hey, maybe it's maybe this is all just a fake out and we come back down. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, right, daily money flow or daily green dot, same thing we looked at yesterday, right? And if you watched the live stream yesterday and you saw the daily green dot with the 90-minute money flow crossovers on all these alts that we were looking at, and now you see how it plays out, that just goes to show how well that strategy works. So if you take anything away from this live stream, please, for the love of God, go watch that video or just take what I teach here and put it into practice. Go find those 116 strategy setups. Shout out to George. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, Bitcoin is your serious uncle who's basement, and I'm here stacking both like it's Black Friday at the crypto store. Hashtag send it. Hashtag DGen Life. Let's go. Shout out to George, baby. Let's go. Let's go. I love it, bro. I love it. I would be shout out to Nick Dunn, said koozie for your Aztecian cactus moss water. We're going to koozie the Aztecian cactus, guys. There we go. Aztecian cactus moss water. Let's go. Oh, you can't see it. There you go. Beautiful. Now we're koozied up. Actually, hopefully I don't knock this over. But anyway, yeah, shout out to George. Thank you for the super chat, bro. And I like that. I'm stacking both as well. Thomas G, thank you for the super chat, says, can we have a look at the Miners, Riot, or Mara? Let me write this down. I'm going to try to take a look at that. All right, I got them written down. We have a lot to get through. I'm going to try to get through everything, and I will try to get to that if we have time. Thank you for the super chat, Thomas. And just a reminder, guys, super chats don't guarantee that we see your altcoins or if you want to take a look at Riot or something. I don't want anyone wasting money on super chats thinking that it's guaranteed, but it does help us see them, though. I will say that. Shout out to Nick Dunn, said, I got 2 of them, Frankie, and a Richardson 112 hat. Let's go. Shout out to Nick Dunn. Let's go, baby. Is the moss water at least 0 sugar? I don't think so. I would doubt it. I don't know. But it says essential on the can. That means it's healthy. Accelerates metabolism, burns body fat. Just drink energy drinks if you want to burn body fat, guys. It's crazy to put on an energy drink. Burns fat. Just drink this and you'll get skinny. Crazy. But anyway, smash that like button if you have not already. And let's continue on. Did I just hit a button on this? I think I might have just hit a button on the stream deck. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on. That's what I'm looking at for XRP. Major volume profile. Honestly, nothing has really changed here. We're just seeing the bounce from the area we thought. But, nothing really to update here as far as levels. All remains the same. So yeah, let's see. So let's take a quick look at Cardano. This is the other one I wanted to look at because we looked at this last night, right? And over the past few days. I actually checked on Cardano recently a lot. I don't really know why. People kept asking for it. But I'm glad we did, right? So here's our current volume profile that we've been watching. And this even more perfectly, and I even looked at this in the market update earlier today, with our daily green dot and our 90-minute money flow crossover again. I'm not going to say this again. Just understand that this setup was on everything last night. But and I think it's important, right, to explain how we got to where we are, right? Because even if you miss this move, just understand, right, that if you understand how we expected this, you will eventually get another opportunity to be like, oh, hey, we're getting that setup again. Last time that happened, look at the outcome, right? And maybe next time you won't be too late. Not that I'm saying you're too late here to enjoy any kind of gain. I'm just saying, right now, it's the way I trade, right? I'm never going to enter a long position at the top of a green candle like that. I can't say I never have done it, right? But I typically won't do that, when I'm, actually trying to make money. I will say, I do open some DGen accounts sometimes. Actually, can I say this, guys? So I said this in the premium Discord, but I feel like someone said audio breaking up. Is that true? I said this in the premium Discord, but I feel like I should say it here too, right? I do take degenerate trades sometimes, right? And I always have this conflicting thing in my head, right? Because what I like to teach here is valid trading strategies, good risk management, and I just think it's irresponsible to just like pretend trading is just like gambling, and you should treat it that way because it's not really a good way to make money long term. And I'm going to tell you why. But I do have degen accounts. I do take degenerate positions, and yes, I hit it big sometimes. Just recently I opened a degen account, right? And I started with $5,000, flipped it into 15K, back down to 5K, back up to 10K, and then I don't even know what it's at right now. I think it's at like 3K, right? And that's like an account you're just like kind of like jumping in at the wrong time, not using great risk management, over leveraging, and I can afford to lose this money, right? But it's kind of hard to like show that and like tell people this when I know that they might not be in the position that I'm in, right? Where, they do trade, but they might want to have some fun. Like when you're learning how to trade, you don't want to even like take any degenerate trades, right? Because you're just going to build bad habits. But for me, I've been doing this a long time, and to be honest, I don't do it often, but I do like to have a little bit of fun here and there. But it's just hard to like, I can't. I just know it's not going to help people, and it's honestly, it's not even not going to help them. It's going to hurt them. But yeah, it just goes to show, like, even me, I take degenerate positions. It's like easy for me to get wrecked too, right? So it's not because the strategy is bad or anything like that. It's just like looser risk management, over leveraging, just it just kind of turns into gambling. It's not just like, and it just goes like, you're never going to get to a point in trading where it's just like, easy, gamble, boom, win, 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 win. It just doesn't get there, right? You have to use the risk management. That's what makes you profitable, in my opinion, right? No risk management, no profitability. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Let's see. What makes you choose to anchor the profile where you do? Do you have a course that explains your reasoning? Shout out to Jacob Anthony. Shout out to you, bro. I call him J Ant. We're boys. But you check the YouTube channel. I got in the beginner series. Go to the beginner series playlist. We have volume profile tutorials, Market Cipher B tutorials. We have tutorials on everything I'm talking about right now, and it's all 100% free. So go check it out. I do have a premium Discord, but if you're just starting out trading, you're probably going to be pretty lost if you get in there. So I recommend it for people who are looking to take the premium Discord, to people who are looking to take their trading to the next level, right? But yeah, this whole YouTube channel is basically a free trading course. So definitely check that out. I'll tell you exactly how I pull the volume profiles. But really quickly, all I do is I like to pull it over ranging price action. And it is a little bit more detailed than that, but go watch the video. It should answer any questions you have. And we talk about it here every single day. Let's see. Shout out to Diaz says, reasonable trader, degen trader is like good cop, bad cop. Yeah. I'm at the point where like even my degen trades are like probably not degenerate to most people. Like I'm still taking it based off a legit setup. I'm not just like FOMO. This mic is getting on my nerves today. It's not like I'm just degenerately entering at the top of a green candle, right? But yeah, it's really the risk management that I kind of play around with there. But again, when I put it into a degen account, I put that money in there like buying a meme coin, right? And most of the time, like I make 5K to 15K in like a day, and it's like I don't even withdraw it. I'm just like throw it all back on black. Do a degen stream, please. Shout out to Hugo's. This is a big thing that we've been talking about. It's like, oh man, it would be so much fun. It's just really hard though, because like I really like to teach sound analysis, good risk management. My goal is to help you guys actually make money trading, not just get everybody amped up if I get lucky on a random 100x live stream trade, and then everyone's gonna think they can do that. And I just know it's gonna have a net negative effect. And I don't know. It's really hard. It's really hard. I would have to completely change. I would rather just gamble on a live stream, like go on an online casino or something. That way it's just completely separate from trading, because trading is not gambling. But it can be if you let it. All right, let's see. I need some degen Frankie videos in my life. Yeah. Oh, man. Maybe we'll do it one day. I don't know. I just don't want to lead people down the wrong path. I would literally every 5 seconds be like, do not do this. I can afford to lose this money, guys. Do not do this. But anyway, let's continue on. I would do like live, like actual just live trading streams, but I don't know. It just doesn't work for content, because most of the time it's like I'm waiting for a key level in a specific setup, and we might just go live, and then we're just sitting there, and it's like if the level doesn't come, we're not going to take the trade, right? Like real trading is boring. Degen trading is fun, right? Or fun to watch. You could just get in and out. It's like it's more like gambling, right? But like real trading stream is like All right, guys, we never hit our level. No trade today. It's like, I don't know. It's really hard to do because I think a lot of people have, at least the way I trade, a lot of people have the wrong idea of what trading is. They think you just get in, buy, 5 seconds later, sell. Oh, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And it's just like, it's a lot more boring than that. I have a couple of shorts on the channel where I recorded some live trades that I took because I was able to fast forward through the 3 hours that it takes to play out or whatever. That's fun, but waiting for the setup, like you see me literally enter the trade and I sit here in like 500x speed, just rolling around in my chair on my phone, waiting for the setup. But yeah, go check that out if you guys like that. Let me know if you like that content. All right, let's see. All right, let's continue on here. So for on Cardano, we got the beautiful tap of that anchored VWAP. It's honestly one thing that I don't absolutely love on the XRP, right? It's like we didn't come down and tap that anchored V. Yeah, we didn't come and tap that anchored VWAP. Maybe. I guess. Yeah, it's like we just front ran it. It does change. Yeah. Oh, come on, man. I would have really preferred to actually tap that anchored VWAP. But on Cardano, we actually did get the touch there, which is super, super nice to see, right? You come down there, you hold the anchored VWAP. This level and the golden pocket, this is the area where you're looking for a higher low to potentially break structure to the upside, which, again, before we did that on the market update earlier, I was looking for that. Get above the POC, break structure to the upside, and we now do have that BOS, right? So very nice to see. Exactly what we wanted, and now this point of control is a key level to hold above, right? Like, could you get some resistance here? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, flipping that point of control, just like back here, guys. And I know, it is it always looks so clean in hindsight, but like you have to understand, like even here, if we were looking at Cardano, I don't know if we were or we weren't. It's like, hey guys, we're above the value area low. This is really nice. If we can hold up here, we're going to be looking for the next likely place for price to go to be the POC. You come up, right? This is the 16-hour time frame. If we go down to like the 4-hour, right? You go up, nah, oh my God, right? Like, oh, we're back in, yes, oh man, right? But like when you take a longer term perspective, it's like, just relax, right? You get into the value area low, you come back down. This might be a little scary dump for people who are looking to long this, but at the end of the day, you hold that value area low, next place for price to go. Excuse me, POC of the range, right? And same thing here, right? Maybe you lose the POC, oh my God, scary, but once you get above it, and again, just based off the laws of the volume profile, we're inside this value. We're accepted into this value, right? Got the move to the POC. As long as we stay above that point of control, and even if we lose it, honestly, as long as we stay above the value area low, technically, the doorway back to the POC and to the value area high is still open, right? So, even if you get a lot of wonky turbulence here, like, sometimes I could try to find an example here, like even here, right? You break down below the POC. Oh my God, wait, are we going back to the high? Nah, you just stick there, but eventually you get the move down, right? It's the same thing here. Maybe you kind of stick to it. Maybe you cool off, but once you get back up, value area high, 101 is going to be the next level to watch. And there are some local levels as well. Let me pull up some key MPOCs, etc. Yeah, so we are hitting a daily naked point of control right now. I was looking at that earlier today. So daily naked, this is now tapped, obviously. So yeah, I might get a little cool off, but key level, 73 cents, POC. Stay above that. Could be looking up to the next levels. Let me pull up the weekly MPOCs. Yeah, confluent here with your value area high. All right, so this would be like a pretty big macro target, to be quite honest. Let's pull our golden pocket from the swing high to the swing low. And you can see golden pocket 786 is also sitting right near that weekly naked point of control value area high zone. So, like even on Bitcoin, right? You pull from the high to the low, right? We look for that 97K retest, right? Pull from the all-time high to the low. 97K retest was the big target once we broke out of this trend line. We take a look at Cardano. That, this isn't even from the all-time high. Pull it from the all-time high. Yeah, it's right on the value area high. This is 100% going to be the next big target. This is like Bitcoin made it to 97K. That macro retracement is pretty much $1.02 for Cardano. Beautiful. Stay above that POC. Come on, Cardano. We got the green dot printing. Money flow also trying to come up on the daily as well. This is happening on a lot of stuff as well. 90-minute money flow, crossover into the green. Indeed, did give you a little bit of an early signal to get that pop up. So really nice to see there. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at on Cardano. Same thing on the monthly too. Like these monthly VWAPs, I hope these can continue to the upside. And weekly VWAP a little bit over. So again, it's not always going to be a straight shot. Like I said, you can get like pretty big cool-offs. It can get very sketchy. It's not always going to be this, right? Sometimes it is. We hope it is, right? But not all the time. Another thing I do want to take a look at, guys, is the tether dominance real quick. this is something I was just looking at. This is actually pretty interesting to me. Again, is this mean like alt season's 100% coming in? Not really, but I do want to show you something very interesting here. We have this volume profile sitting. It starts back here from February of 2024, and if I pull this up side by side, it's actually really interesting to look at, right? We look at this next to, say, something like XRP, right? XRP had a massive rally to the upside, right? Everyone's freaking out when this happened. And what happened here? Back when we had XRP, you could see my cursor on both screens here. Back when XRP had this run up to, call it 345, Tether dominance was breaking back down below this value area low, and it moved down to the POC and then back down to the value area low. And that was the move that gave us that next leg up on XRP. Look at the Tether dominance now. Like textbook. Daily bearish divergences. Correction to the value area high, and we are now losing this value area high, potentially targeting the POC of the range, and hopefully, if it's going to be something like this, could be looking down towards the value area low of that range as well. And if that does happen, it doesn't mean it has to play out exactly the same, but just understand the last time we got a drop like that with, again, the same signals on Tether dominance. Higher highs on our price action, lower highs on our momentum waves. I know that wick rips up here, but bodies are totally a daily bearish divergence. You come down, bounce off the high, break into your range. Next likely place for price or dominance to go is going to be the POC and then the value area low. Same exact thing is happening here. And money flow is coming out as well on the daily. The last time we got, if you just look at the money flow, and I know you guys can't really see that because I'm hiding it. Right? When we look at this, daily money flow crossed over into the red right here. That caused the bigger downtrend to the value area low. That gave XRP its massive rip up. Right now, we have the same thing. Divergences, money flow crossing into the red, and we're breaking down below the value area high. So as long as we can remain below 5.07, this could potentially give, that might be an early sign that we could see this drop down and see the alt start to run. And, again, not that it has to play out like this, but if you were to get something like this, right? Even if you're looking at this as like something like I know it's not really a bull pennant, maybe like a bull flag, something like that. But if you just kind of take that measured move, $13. Hey, if we pull up the XRP chart real quick, why is this? Where's my TA? Why is my TA not? Why is this not popping up? Maybe I can pull it up here. Yeah, that's honestly like the higher end of my targets. And again, I'm not necessarily saying that has to happen right now, but I'm just saying like it's interesting to look at, right? Because I don't know, same exact thing is happening. And then on top of that, right, it's not just the fact that Tether dominance is coming down. It's also the fact that we had the daily green dot on the daily for a lot of these altcoins. We had the money flow crossing into the green on the 90-minute. And yeah, we even have Bitcoin dominance, right? Let me actually come at a split screen here. All right, we also have Bitcoin dominance. Look at that little popski on Bitcoin dominance. Now, we do still have the target up here at 66.21%. But like we always say, right? Actually, yesterday we looked at this. Daily bearish divergences kind of forming throughout all these highs, right? Just like continuations of higher highs. And you get the lower lows or lower highs for a bearish divergence. Nice little dump down. Again, could we just get like a little cool off like we saw back here, right? A little cool off and then a massive rip to the upside. Obviously possible. But I would say like losing this POC would be very nice. If we could get that back down to like 64%, get stuck underneath and lose it, that would be really nice. Other than that, next key level to come up to would be the 786. And if we do get that, that would be another situation where we could look at the alts and be like, hey, what do the higher time frames look like? Do they look like they're getting bullish signals, bull divs on the high time frames, etc.? Maybe it corrects. If the alt charts line up with that, then we can make another decision. But, as of right now, that Tether dominance is could be repeating history here. So we'll see what happens, right? And again, all we had during that time on when we had that dump, right? XRP. Let me just pull this up over here real quick just so I can get the exact, just make sure I'm as accurate as possible for the Mafia here. So yeah, like when did this start? November 2024. Where's the dominance at? right? November 2024, right? So like even just this on Bitcoin dominance gave us that massive rip up on XRP. So just food for sauce, food for thought, food for macaroni, food for Phoebe, Whoops, wrong button. Shout out to Phoebe. But anyway, let's see. 70% dominance. I mean, listen. Let me pull it up. Right. I am a strictly a technical trader. Right. Not that I trade dominance, obviously, but yeah, I would say. Right, 70% would technically. Yeah, value area high for me sits at about 69%. I mean, hey, you're like dang near 70% at that point as well. So, yeah, I mean, definitely not impossible. Next target I have to the upside is going to be 66.21, right? And, you know, anytime dominance falls like that, like you're going to see the alts bounce, right? I want to be clear. This does not guarantee that alt season is here, right? You know, it's could it be the start? Maybe, right? But it's always a question. We have to investigate to see what the probabilities of it are. You'll never see me say altcoin starts on this date at this time, right? Nobody knows that. And if someone says they know that, they're lying to you, right? But what we can say is altcoin season starting? Let's check it out. Let's look at the Tether dominance. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Let's look at the alt charts. And when all that stuff lines up, then we could put a high probability on a potential move to the upside. And although things do look bullish right now, at the end of the day, the alts could potentially, right? Like we might just, you know, maybe this is a little, especially on ETH, right? When we look at ETH, you know, who knows? If we get accepted back into this bear market range, right? Let's say we get some kind of big rejection, right? We get back into the value area. We lose the POC. ETH goes back down to this value area low. Very likely, all the altcoins are following as well. That's why it's so important to close above these highs, right? Close above that value area low. That reduces the probability of coming back down there. But right now, like we could wick up, wick down, get accepted in here, lose the POC, and then all those alts are just right back down. And these are just little relief rallies, which could be possible. But right now, with the way, you know, locally, we could enjoy those pumps to the upside right now. Still pays to know what's coming. Let's see. Shout out to Paste Bailey says, Frankie said alt season time. Time to go all in on Butthole Coin and Fartcoin. I actually did mark out I made a new Fartcoin chart here because I know it's a crowd favorite. So we just got it living here for you guys. I got some saucy levels on here. And yeah. So we took a look at ETH. We took a look at XRP. We took a look at Solana. We took a look at Cardano. Absolutely beautiful move there. Yeah. Like and subscribe, guys, if you have been here enough to see these levels play out. And if you're new, what the heck are you doing? Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the updates. And, yeah, let's see if we can do it. I've already bought my swimming trunks for alt season. Shout out to Moon Trades. Yeah, shout out to Celinda. I don't know if I said that right. Said alt season will start when Bitcoin tops out in ranges. Yeah, it's typically how it works. You'll get a big move on Bitcoin. Once it starts consolidating, people start taking profits on Bitcoin, roll that into the alts. That's when like face melting alt season happens. And I don't want to say that's too late. Like if you wait for that, I don't want to say it's too late. But at the end of the day, right? Like if you're looking at Ethereum, if Bitcoin makes new all-time highs and starts consolidating, and just using ETH as an example, right, or any other altcoin, it's like a lot of times they will follow up in some way, right? So it's like, you know, it's a little more risky to try to like find the lows, but better to get in down here than like even up here, right, or whatever it is. But yeah, you're 100% right. Usually Bitcoin rips, consolidates, and that's where you see the alts start to go. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Dremmer says, instructions unclear. Put my life savings into Ceto. Shout out to Dremmer. Let's see. Wow, did ETH hit 222.22 again? ETH hit 225, 222.5. 2,225 numbers. All right, Dogecoin. Let's see. Shout out to Toasty Fries. Let's go ahead and take a look at Dogecoin. All right, let's see here. Where's my updated chart? I cleaned up all these charts, guys, so they are nice and clean. Hide that upper value. Take a look at the 2021 value area. Grab that horizontal ray. Obviously didn't mark it up good enough because I forgot the POC here. But yeah, guys, you know, same thing with, you know, this is literally Almost the exact same situation that we were here back in 2024. This was our doorway to higher prices on Dogecoin in 2024. Hey guys, if we flip this value area low to support, the next likely place for price to go is going to be the POC, sitting right here at 26 cents. Once we get above the POC, we can look for the value area high. Hopefully, right? Like, and again, this is, things can change fast, but this was like a pretty clear example of like a super, like exactly what you would want from a volume profile. Like you couldn't have asked for a better fill there. Super fast, super clean. And then you can see on the way down, it was a little bit more choppy, right? You get accepted into the range, right back down to the POC. You go up to test the high, you still can't get out, back to the POC, and then finally back down to the low. Here, it just happened perfectly. Hopefully we see something like that again. But I will say, it's the same thing here, right? We got above the range here, held it, tried to move, back down, one more low. And here's the thing. You might ask yourself, well, hey, listen, if the volume profiles are so saucy, right, then how did we just come in and then lose it? We didn't even get close to the POC here. Context, right? It's not that easy, right? I don't want to say it's hard or easy, but here's the thing, right? If we come up on over to like the daily, when you come down here, right, you do have bull divs, right? And honestly, you have the lower lows on your price action. You have the slightly higher lows on your momentum waves, very slightly. You get the push back into the range and a push up. Now, granted, that was a nice little, still would have worked here. A nice 40% pump to the upside. Who's going to complain about that? Not me, right? But at the end of the day, what's your money flow doing here? Your money flow is just tanking to the downside. So sure, that div could give you the idea that you're going to get a push up, but with money flow in the red, the idea is much more likely to be a lower high and a lower low. And then once you get down here to put in this new low, now you have lower lows on price action and a much clearer daily bullish divergence with, at the time, money flow trying to come up. It kind of came out a little bit there, but at the end of the day, much cleaner bullish divergence on the daily and even your 2-day, right? You didn't have the 2-day bull div on the first low. Second low, you get the 2-day bull div, and then money flow starts to come up. And again, it came out again here, but during that div, it's like, hey, money flow starting to come back up, right? So it's a much cleaner low. When we're looking at Market Cypher B, when you have a divergence, for me personally, I like to look at the 4-hour and the daily, or honestly, weekly, anything. Anytime you have a bullish divergence, you want money flow to be agreeing with that. When that money flow agrees with your bullish divergence and you have momentum and money flow coming up, that's what you want for a big move to the upside. Not even really a bull div with money flow coming out, right? Like the hopes here would be less. And we looked at this on Bitcoin too. It looked the same on Bitcoin. And we looked for this little pump to the upside on Bitcoin, but we knew it was going to be very likely a lower high and a lower low. And that wound up being the case. We put in the cleaner bull divs, and then we looked for the move up to 97K. That was for Bitcoin, obviously, right? Like right down here, we said, hey, we have a 2-day bull div, but money flow is coming out. We could look for a bounce, but we can't get excited. Lower highs and lower lows are very likely. We come in, we put the lower high right into the golden pocket, lower low. Now we have a clean 2-day bullish divergence and money flow trying to come up. Much better move for the move to 97K. Same thing on Dogecoin, right? So right now, we came up. We had the 2-day bull div. Nice bullish confirmations below your value area low. This is where you want to be looking for longs, especially if people are calling for a bear market. And again, I'm not saying you have to go into new all-time highs right this second, but definitely not the time to sell your bags when people say it's the bear market. If you're new to crypto, take note of this, right? If you just went through this dip that everything had, and on Bitcoin, everyone calling for the bear market, and then that was literally the low, remember this. That will happen almost every single time. When people start getting fed up, when people get pissed off in the chats, or not really our chat. Our chat knows what's good. The CandleMafia makes money whether we go up or down, so we don't. No one really says this in our chat, but Twitter gets toxic. Everyone thinks it's the bear market. The bulls are calling the bears idiots. The bears are calling the bulls idiots. It's just like, it's crazy, right? That's typically when the low is, right? When everyone's getting all pissed off. And here we are again. Break above the high. Nice bullish divergences below the low. Very clear sign that you're at least going to get a move into your value area low. And what happened here? We got a little pullback. Beautiful retest of that value area low. And potentially the anchored VWAP here. Yeah, right into that anchored VWAP. Look at that. Beautiful touch on that anchored VWAP. Value area low confluence. And we continue the push up. We break structure to the upside here. So, I mean, I don't even know if I really have to say anything here. But as long as we hold the value area low, and again, that test on the anchored VWAP is nice. Same thing on Cardano. Continuation into the POC at about 26 cents could be next. That's what I would look at. Value area high sits at about 38 cents. And if we look at this from a local standpoint, I'm actually going to look at this in two different ways, right? So we have this previous mini volume profile, which obviously, come on down to a lower time frame, right? We got back into the range, back to the POC, back to the low. That's where the low came in, back to the high. We're starting to break out of this range, but probably more inclined to pull this like this. Yeah, I mean, this would be your local range, right? So you could look at this if we do get a cool off. You could look at this value area high as potential support. But this is what I would look at locally. Value area low, 1545. POC, 1715. And then the value area high at about 1822. That's what I would look at locally. But for the most part, this is really the main thing that you need to be paying attention to, in my opinion, right? If we do, and in the higher time frame here on Doge, guys, just to kind of talk about like what actually happened here. So clean, right? We have the bear market range. We get the first rally to the upside in 2024. We come down, we retest the POC of the range. What is on that POC of the range? 786 retracement gets held right on the value area high, right? We wick to the POC, close your higher time frame candles above that 786 value area high. Where are you going to be looking for higher lows and higher highs? Right in on that golden pocket 786 retracement. You're hoping if you're going to continue an uptrend here, this is the zone you have to stay above. More specifically, that's the zone you need to stay above. You put in the higher low, you break structure to the upside for the higher high. Now we get a correction again. Where is that higher low that you want to hold? Well, you would pull it from the recent swing low to the current swing high. Golden pocket. This is the first level, honestly. Golden pocket, and then the anchored VWAP of the downtrend. But that's your golden pocket retracement. It's macro support. Reclaim value area low. This could be an area. Could be the area to put in the higher low. And maybe, if we're going to put in new all-time highs, if that's the case, that would be the first level you would look at, right? Then you have the 786 sitting down closer to 11 cents. But if we come back down, we could cross that bridge when we get there. But at the end of the day, golden pocket value area low confluence. And right now, we got that beautiful retest of the value area low. Let's see if we can push up a bit. Just be aware. With the weekly POC confluence up here, 26 cents. That'd be the next big target for Dogecoin, in my opinion. If we continue up, right? Everything else kind of lives. Yeah, we're hitting a daily right now, so maybe we cool off a little bit. But yeah, even if we get above this daily, there's not much ahead of us until about 23 cents, right? And actually, if I pull this up on the VPVR real quick, let me see this. Yeah, I mean, you break above this daily, pretty decent gap here leading up to about 24 cents. There's not a lot above you leading into 24 cents. And then again, that POC getting closer to about 26 cents. So nice way to visualize that there. Yeah, everything else is kind of above you. Let's see. Okay, so you do have another daily naked point of control, but yeah, same thing, right? It's like still not that much. You have a pretty good gap here. See, weekly, no weekly MPOC. So yeah, this is definitely like confluent resistance here. Like, again, next big target. And like, even if you didn't know this, right? POC is just that next major target anyway, but it's nice to know the confluence there. So let me see. This will go in 2021. Grab this. Bada boom. So yeah, that's what I'd be looking at on Dogecoin. Next targets to the upside. Key support, value area low, 16 cents. That's the doorway to higher prices. Are we about to see that happen? 2-day green dot printing. And again, this obviously did have the daily green dot with the 90-minute money flow crossover. Higher time frame, higher daily time frame VWAP still a little overheated here. So when we do get another correction to the downside, eventually these are probably going to cool off. But we'll see. We break the lows, we'll readjust. But as of right now, this is your key support. Weekly naked point of control at 14.146. That's going to be another key level to hold as well, right? So we come back down to the golden pocket, maybe hold that weekly MPOC. If not, I'd be looking down towards the weekly naked point of control 786. But right now, inside the range, baby. Let's see. Let's see, baby. Let's see. All right, let's see. Shout out to George. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, Doge is barking, ETH is building, BTC's flexing, and Andy's memeing his way to the moon like a yellow dog with rocket fuel and a dream. Send it. Hashtags Max because BTC. Shout out to George. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, bro. And I like that. I like that. Doge is barking. Bitcoin's definitely flexing. Bitcoin's just like, I told you guys I was the king. Let's see. Can we look at TAI? Yes, I actually think I made a chart. I did. Oh, no. Oh, it did. Okay. Oh, no. This is the current chart. This is funny. I spent hours today reorganizing and just like updating all the levels on all my charts. And this was the last one that I had, but I was going to try to do before the stream, and I ran out of time. But luckily, we already had TA on this chart. So, oh, and actually, real quick, I think it's on Dogecoin. I do just want to point this out, guys. Or no, maybe it was actually Fartcoin. Low key, guys, we don't look at Fartcoin a lot, but I do just want to point this out. And I don't say this to flex. I don't say this to only reason I say this is to show you guys that TA can work, right? It's not just astrology for crypto bros. People who say that just don't want to learn it, right? But when we look at this, and I know there's a lot of levels that just popped up, almost all these higher lows we were looking at on the stream and called levels for, right? So when we look at this, golden pocket, and maybe we'll come back and do a little bit more Fartcoin analysis, but from the high, from the low to the high, where are we looking for bounces, right? You have some local levels here. We get the bounce off the first box. First box, get a little bounce. Second box, little bounce. But where's the real high or low that you're expecting to come in? When you're looking to break structure, these highs to the upside, where are you looking for high or low? You're going to be looking at the golden pocket retracement. Low, high, high or low. That golden pocket would be the highest probability area to put in a higher low, and then break structure to the upside. That's exactly where we bounce from. Even here, break above, local golden pocket POC value area high, value area low confluence. Higher low, higher high. Right? This is simple Fibonacci analysis. This is not like anything special. You have some confluence with the value area levels, but this is a very simple thing that anybody can learn pretty quickly to try to anticipate where they should be looking for longs, or even looking to like buy the dip before continuation's up, so they're not caught FOMOing in at the top. A lot of people would FOMO in at the top here, but who would have been the winners? The people who stayed patient and waited for the correction down to a key level. And even here, it could get painful. You're like, oh my God, I missed it. Oh wait, never mind. The key level gets hit. That's why I like the charts, right? It's agnostic. It doesn't care about emotion or how much hype something has. More often than not, you're going to get those levels hit. Simple Fibonacci analysis. But let's take a look at TAI real quick. Take a sip of the Aztecian cactus. Can't make it up. Tapped on the value area low here. Now, again, I didn't clean this chart yet, so it is a little bit... And get rid of this little range. That was all we had to work off of here. Get rid of this. I actually don't know if these are actually naked. Yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of these POCs real quick because I don't know if they're still valid. This one definitely is. That one definitely is. I just don't know about this one. We're not looking down there anyway. Let's get rid of this local range. We actually looked at this yesterday as well. Let's see here. So let's try to get my bearings here real quick. Bear with me. So yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of a difficult chart just because there's like not a lot of structure, right? It's just like a V-shaped recovery there. This is the only kind of significant volume profile that we have. And you can see the last shot up there on the 26th. We get in there, reject the value area high, and then we come back down. What are we holding right now? This is the full golden pocket retracement. Higher, again, the area you would look at for a higher low. Potentially, if you could hold this level, get back inside this range, work your way up to the profile, it would make sense for this to potentially be the higher low. If we come back down as we tap this value area low, if we do come back down, lose the golden pocket, I would be looking at that 786. Actually, looking at this, I would probably I would have preferred, like, if this is the higher low and the higher high, I would have missed that trade, right? Because to be honest, I would have preferred to come down here and hit the weekly naked point of control, 786 confluence. There's just more confluence down there. Now, I don't know what the local confirmations were there. Maybe I would have taken the trade, but at the end of the day, like, this was the confluent level. So if we do lose the golden pocket, this level here on TARS is 0.054 to 0.050, right? Daily naked point of control, weekly naked point of control, 786 retracement. We're bouncing from the golden pocket now. So the 786 is always going to be the next place to look if we lose that level. But definitely have an opportunity to hold this if you could flip this POC and value area low to support, sitting between 10 cents and 11 cents. Very this is a small range, right? It's the only thing I have to work off of. So it's a tiny little range. But flip that POC, you could be on your way to about 0.136. And then once you break above that, to be quite honest, man, this is so much rougher to go through without an organized chart like all the other ones. Let's pull the anchored VWAP from the top here. Yeah, we already rejected this. So, yeah, this POC, this is probably going to come down. So that anchored VWAP POC confluence here, this is definitely a key level to hold. I would want to flip, not only just flip this, I want to flip this and retest it as support. Hold on top of that level. I think that increases the chances that you can come up here to your next zone. At that point, anchored VWAP would likely be coming down. Flip that to support. Push above your value area high into your next key zone, which would be sitting up here near all these MPOCs between about 16.164 and 0.2 and 20 cents. So these are the next targets to the upside. I'm going to try to clean this up so we can have a new chart to look at. But again, there's not a lot to there's just let me hide all this real quick. There's not a lot to work with on this chart, to be quite honest. I'm going to try to pull this whole thing, and you just still get this tiny little range. It's quite a difficult chart. It's just wonked out price action. Yeah, you pull it all throughout all the price action. That's the reason for that is because all the volume is just traded right here. So yeah, definitely the level to look at. 11 cents. Flip 11 cents. You could potentially come up. I like that we're holding that golden pocket. Let me see what the anchored VWAP from the low is like. Pull it up on a lower time frame. Yeah, so let's turn everything back on. Yeah, so stay above that anchored VWAP. And I would be looking up to your value area high, potentially. Does get a little bigger if you pull the whole range. I'm actually going to take this. I'm going to take this range, rather. Reason being is because of the confluence. Pull this. Boom. Whoops. Yeah, I like this a little bit better, right? Because when you run, you have the value area high confluence on top of all those weekly naked points of controls. I don't even know where they are. It's like all these folders. It's a super messy chart. But yeah, still pretty much the same, right? Hold the golden pocket, anchored VWAP, flip the POC to support. That's where I would look for a potential continuation up into the value area high. Now sitting at 16.163, and then again, kind of a lot of resistance above there. So definitely big target there. And doorway to higher prices would be the POC at 11 cents. There we go. All right, let's see. Yo, shout out to Crypto Paisa says, smash that like button if you want alt season to start, guys. Smashing the like button. 1,000 likes, alt season guaranteed. I'm just gonna say it. Let's see. Compare today's price action. Shout out to Ahmed. Says, compare price action today on BTC to December 5th price action. Let's see. Today's price action to December 5th. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Yeah, I don't know. Like this whole area, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. If you let me know a little bit more in chat, I'll try to take a look at it for you. I'm not sure exactly what you want me, what you're looking to compare. Yeah, December 5th, pump and dump. Is that what you're saying? We could pump and dump because we pump and dump back here? Potentially. Yeah, I don't know. But I will try. If you let me know, I'll try to... I will try to take a look at it for you. And shout out to Thomas G. Yeah, we could try to take a look at. Let's take a look at Riot. I don't think I've ever looked at it. Hopefully I'm looking at the right thing. I don't oftentimes look at this stuff. But yo, shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Said, trigger warning, dark humor incoming. Every time you save a dog, the market completely collapses. Have you tried kicking a puppy yet? You know, science. It's a joke. Relax. I love dogs. I've always had one until I started traveling. Shout out to Golden. Bro, it's crazy. Speaking of puppies and innocent babies, guys, if you smash that like button unless you hate babies and puppies. If you don't like kicking puppies and you like puppies and babies, smash that like button. But let me see here. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any other super chats. And Golden, shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat. Said, no dogs for Frankie right now. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm like low-key itching for a dog. My mom's sending me pictures of dogs. Like, get this one, get that one. Maybe I'll wait till after the bull run. that might be the move. I might have to wait for after the bull run to get a puppy because, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's just the lost dogs, Golden, or if it's any dog. Like, if I get a dog, maybe it'll pump the market. It'll definitely pump my life. I'll tell you that. You kicked my dog. Shout out to Hugo's. Wow. If you know, you know. Let's go. Pet goat. Look greater than pet dog. Oh, my God. I would love a pygmy goat. But, all right. Let's take a look at Riot real quick, guys. Like I said, I don't look at this stuff often, so hopefully this is the right chart. I'm actually going to turn this on Heikinashi really quickly. All right. So, just right off the bat, this would be the range I'm watching. So, yeah, we lost the range. He actually didn't even have bull divs here. Back in, flip it POC, flip the value area low to support, value area high, POC, high, lose the high, back below. Divs here, I actually don't like. I don't hate this. Bull divs below your volume profile. This is looked at as undervalued. Testing your value area low, resistance until proven otherwise. Flip that to support, push into the POC, flip the POC, push into the value area high. That would be the hoped for move, right? Very similar to what happened here. Very similar to what happened here. Range was probably a little bit different, but same thing. Above the high, back to the POC, back above the high, POC, lose the POC, value area low, back to the POC, back to the value area low, POC, value area high, reject, POC, value area low. I mean, that's what you would expect. It's going to be hard to figure out exactly how it's going to play out, but you could be potentially setting up there, right? Daily bull divs, money flow attempting to come up there. I would say right here at about 880 is the key level to flip. Flip 880 to support, looking up towards about 1078. Flip that. You can look up towards the value area high at about 1392. Let's take a look at the higher time frames. Take a look at the weekly. 6-day. Nothing. I mean, it's almost the same thing as like Bitcoin and all the alts, right? Like monthly VWAP trying to roll back up. 2-day money flow and VWAP are coming down. So, you know, be careful. Definitely resistance until proven otherwise. But that's the key level to break above. If you lose the lows here, yeah, I mean, and those bull divs did come into your, well, actually, I already came into your 786 here. Second test of the 786, typically not as strong. Let me check this. Ugh, yeah, you really got to get above this, right? Because, yeah, you don't want to lose that 786, right? Because, like, if you're pulling from this low to the high, you're looking for higher lows to come in on the golden pocket or the 786. We slip that, but with the bull div down here, hoping you can reclaim and then send it up. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But if you do continue to break down, you can see this POC got tapped a couple of times. Lower range, I'll give you the lower support levels as well. Value area high sitting at 750 or 755. POC sitting right here. Yeah, that bull div came into the lower POC. I actually don't hate that, if I'm being quite honest. That is coming in at about 623. Value area low sitting down here at about 475. So you're in between two value areas here. Break up in here, doorway to higher prices, break down below really the POC. That's your doorway to lower prices, potentially down to 475. So there you go. That's what I'll be looking at on Riot. Hopefully I looked at the right thing. Shout out to Pennywise in the chat. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat. Said, I kick ticker sign puppy coins for fun. Shout out to Golden. Let's go. Is kick puppies, I would short that coin. Shout out to Golden. Short kick puppy coins. Golden says, if Frankie kicked a pup and the price went to $500K, I would buy him 50 rescue no-kill shelters. Shout out to Golden, who probably can buy 50 no-kill shelters. Yeah, I am. No problem, Thomas. Of course, bro. Of course. Yeah, I am a dog maxi, guys. Like, one thing that I'm just like, you can't flip me on. It's a strong, strong team that I stand on. Dogs over literally everything. It's like my religion. Dogs are, I just don't know how you can't like dogs. I don't get it. Right? Like, dog people don't like cat people. Cat people don't like dog people sometimes. I'm definitely a dog person. But, like, cats are cool too, right? Like, I don't hate cats. But if I don't know, man. If you hate dogs, that says a lot about you. I don't know. I get being afraid of them. You could be afraid of a dog. I get it. Like, Mrs. Candles used to be terrified of dogs. Then she started going out with me. Now she loves them. Now she's begging for them. But yeah, I don't know. Dogs are it, man. Dogs are it. Let's see. Can we take a look at LRC tonight? Yeah, we could try to take a look at LRC. What else did I want to look at? Ondo. I did want to take a look at Ondo really quickly. Yeah, I marked up this chart, right? So, like I said here, guys, we have a couple ways to look at this. We have our main volume profile. I mean, more locally, recently, what we were looking at here on Ondo was pull that fib right from the low to the high. Golden pocket retracement. We come down. We just barely front ran it. We just barely missed it. Front runs are kind of brutal sometimes, if I'm being honest, right? Because, like, if you're waiting for that level to get tapped, it's hard, right? It's hard because, like, you front run the level and then it comes up and you're like, I got to wait for that level to get hit. And then sometimes they just go. More often than not, they will hit the level, but sometimes they just go. But yeah, we just barely front ran that golden pocket level, but totally fine. You're not always going to tap the level perfectly. And now we're starting to break out of this range. So what do? Well, first off, understand this is technically, as of right now, you know, I actually like this. So I'm going to take off the local range and I'm going to pull up the macro volume profile because if you look at it from this perspective, this is pretty much a volume profile over like all the price action pretty much, right? Deviate the high, back end of the range, POC, value area low. Deviate below the low, get accepted back in, POC, value area high. Deviation, well, man, big wick, but back in, can't get back out. Look at that bearish retest. At that point, you're expecting to go to the POC. It took you for a little bit of a ride back to the value area high, faked you out again, but eventually the laws of the volume profile prevail, pushing you down to the POC. You lose the POC, down to the value area low with good old 2-day bullish divergences. And we talk about this all the time as things were dumping. Watch for the 2-day bull div. Typically, 2-day bull divs are a pretty big deal on the altcoins. Now money flow starting to come up. 2-day green dot printing. We put the 2-day bull div into the value area low, POC. This was your key level, right? As long as we hold above that POC, could break structure to the upside, targeting eventually $1.22 at the value area high. If we pull up some of our key levels here, daily at about, this is an honorable mention, $1.11 is probably the only thing, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing here. Yeah, daily, yeah, once you break this high, really the only thing holding you back from the value area high at $1.23 is this daily naked point of control and daily horizontal at $1.13. So if we are going to just have this be a high or low, crack the highs, the only thing in your way of the value area high is sitting right here. And yeah, we are coming into a bit of resistance though. All right. So, but again, like resistance, but once you get above that high, start that journey up to the value area high. Again, $1.23. Just be careful around $1.13 because you do have the daily naked points of controls. But at that point, you're just anticipating value area low into the POC. And then due to the laws of the volume profile, you would expect that fill to the full value area high. So just might be a little bit of a journey, right? You bing bong around the local levels, but eventually you will very likely go down and hit them, right? Very similar to this, right? Oh, we're going to the low. No, oh, we front ran the low. Oh my God, we're going to take off. Oh my God. Okay, never mind. We just went to the low, right? So it's sometimes noisy and confusing, but the volume profiles, let me give you a deep breath, right? Like you just kind of sit back and let the volume profile do its thing. Let's see. Shout out to School Aid. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, is this pump even sustainable? Full moon and golden cross incoming on the daily time frame. Thoughts? Shout out to School Aid. I don't trade the moon cycles. I have back tested them, and they are eerily accurate. But for me, I can't just make a bet on the phase of the moon. Every time someone brings up the moon phases, I always say this. I talked to somebody one time, and they explained to me the real reason that the moon phases actually work. It has nothing to do with the moon, but there's something that happens, I think, that's like in line with the different moon phases or something like that. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I backtested them before. They have a way higher hit rate than I would have ever guessed. But it's just not something I typically look at, so I don't really have many thoughts on that, other than they seem to be right more than they're wrong. But again, not something I look at. And yeah, the Golden Cross, it's another thing, right, with the Golden Crosses. I'll just say this. Let me pull up the... So if we look at this, right, yeah, this is not a... Yeah, usually rally into them and then a dump. And then golden. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like the golden crosses, the death crosses. I covered this when we had this cross here. I'll just say it's not a like I think a lot of people like look at the death crosses or the golden crosses as like, oh my God, it's like this is the bear market or something. It's just like not that simple. And I've made videos like going back and looking at previous death crosses, previous golden crosses, explaining how they've affected price. And it's just not as clear and cut as you would think. So I just don't really put too much weight. It's not that you shouldn't. It's just not something I pay much attention to, right? It's just something that like anytime there's a golden cross or a death cross, if it plays out, it's just something that like whatever I'm looking at, I'm already looking in that direction anyway. And then some people will be like, oh, and we have the golden cross, or oh, and we have the death cross. And if it lines up, then I'm just like, okay, cool. But yeah, I wish I could give a I wish I could give a better answer. I just don't really have many thoughts on the golden crosses or the moon phases, other than the fact it's not something I pay a lot of attention to. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't, right? But it's just not. I really don't have that many thoughts. So shout out to School Aid. I wish I could give you a better answer, but I don't really have a I have the stuff that I look at, and yeah, sometimes if you look at too much stuff, it's too much information. Too much information could be bad information, and that's not what you want to do. So yeah, but I mean, hopefully, if it works for you, do that 100%. Yeah, at the end of the day, I say this all the time. At the end of the day, like what makes you money in the market is very rarely like tied to the effectiveness of your strategy, which sounds like an oxymoron, I know. But it is true, right? Like most people, it's simple, right? Like most strategies, especially like day trading and scalping strategies, most of them are good. Most of them are profitable. Strategy effectiveness is not the reason most people fail at trading. It's probably the lower thing. Like it's the least important thing that makes people not profitable. It's the emotion and the risk management that makes you, and even in long-term investing, right? Anybody can buy during the bear market and sell during the bull market. But people are too scared to buy in the bear market, and they're too greedy to sell in the bull market, right? So what do? They buy after price already takes off, and it keeps going, and they never sell it until it goes back down. So, again, buy low, sell high, simple, but not easy in effect, right? So, or in reality. So yeah, it's like, I'm sure there's people out there that trade just one moving average crossover. Is that how I trade? No. But if someone was making money doing that, I would not try to shove my strategy down their throat. If someone said, hey, bro, I'm making a ton of money trading a buy and sell indicator. And I'm like, well, listen, bro, I don't think that's true, right? But if it is true and you really are making money, then go do that 100%. I'm not going to try to tell, no, you have to look at this. You got to watch this, right? So, yeah. But I wish I'd give a better answer. But, yeah, I just don't have too much of an opinion on those. Shout out to The Purge. Thank you for the super chat. How hyped are you on virtuals? Well, I'll tell you this. I was hype enough to make a chart of it, a new chart of it, because we already did have a chart. Now we have a new one. But, yeah, that's what I would look at on Ondo. Still looking pretty good here. Hold above that POC. That's your key level. Daily naked point of control. If we do cool off, you might want to hold those daily nakeds. Send them to the upside. So, yeah, you are coming into resistance. Let's take a look at virtuals real quick. Oh, I was going to say, is this the one that I didn't mark? So, let's go. We looked at this yesterday, I think, right? I look at so many coins every single day, guys, especially on the live stream. I forget what we look at. And I don't even have the old chart that is going to look familiar to me because I just redid the chart. So, but at the end of the day here, let's look at this, right? Number one, Two value areas I'm looking at. Number one, I'm going to start off. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to look at this one. This is the bigger range. I'll explain the context in a second. Here's your volume profile. You have your value area low sitting at 191. And look what you're doing right now. Peeking up above that value area low. Flip this to support. That next target is likely going to be 262. Flip that to support. Next target, very likely 334. Money flow coming up here on the 12-hour. Now, be careful, right? This is definitely resistance until proven otherwise. Just one 12-hour candle is not good enough for me. If this winds up being a big wick, could be a rejection, right? But your hope here, let's close some daily candles up here, right? Let's start playing around in here. Hold it as support. Next target, 266. Flip that to support. Value area high, 334. Daily green dot hasn't even printed yet. You already got this move up. 53%. Daily green dot's not even printing yet. Not a bad look. 2-day, VWAP coming to the upside. 3-day, VWAP coming down. Again, that's the one thing here on a lot of these charts, right? Nothing's going to go up in a straight line forever. These higher daily time frame red dots are probably the things that's going to cool us off a little bit. Weekly, no information. 6-day, no information. 5-day, no information. So, yeah, I would be keeping an eye. Green dot on the daily. Let's check our 90-minute. Money flow crossing over into the green. You're already starting to get your pump to the upside here. So, yeah, I would say key level of support right now, $1.91. Stay above here. Be looking to break those highs. Dailies, this was a level of resistance, which I guess we just took out, so I will remove that. Take a look at the weekly, monthly. Yeah, a lot of resistance up here in the $3.70 to $4 zone. Daily MPOC. So daily MPOC at 225. That's your next local level of support resistance. Man, this is a weekly naked as well. So definitely got some resistance in here. So just be careful. If you wind up nuking out of here and that daily candle closes below this value area high, might get a little rejection. But for the most part, nice to see you pop through this. So to the upside, I would say 226 is your next daily naked point of control. And honestly, once you get above that, I'm looking up towards that POC at $2.61. Only thing you really have above you is that 225, 226 daily naked point of control. So if we stay in here, that's your last battle into the POC. And then, continue your journey into that value area high, 332. 336. So there you go. Shout out to Virtuals. Yeah, daily green dot not even printing yet, man. Unbelievable. But there we go. That's your major value area. Once again, value area low 191, POC 220, 262, value area high 331. Let's see. Yo, Golden with another super chat. Golden, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. He said, the price of Bitcoin, usually takes a dip right before the Bitcoin conference. So I'm really happy to see this because I'm cashing out a whole coin today. Yo, shout out to Goldie. He's like, I'm just going to sell a couple hundred Bitcoin. No big deal. Don't crash it on us, Golden. Please. Just sell a little bit at least. But yeah, shout out to Golden, bro. And I will say that every year, I've said this every time, ever since I had my channel. I've been to Bitcoin conferences before I had my channel. But I've said this many times. Everybody always says, oh, price is going to pump because there's a Bitcoin conference. I don't know why people say this. I feel like I'm alone here. Every single year, they're like, it always pumps for the conference. I've tested it. It never pumps for the conference. At least the ones that I've been to. Every single one, it's either flat or dumping. So yeah, I don't know. So if you start hearing, if you start hearing, oh, the conference pump is gonna come. I don't know what imaginary conference pump people are talking about. So yeah, I don't know. Very interesting. Golden is Satoshi confirmed. Shout out to World. Shout out to Golden. That'd be like the craziest thing ever, right? Like, I'm not going to lie. I actually, obviously, I don't think Golden is actually Satoshi, but that would be a story that I would have. It's like, oh, yeah, of course you have a YouTube channel and Satoshi interacts with your YouTube channel. But I'm kidding. Golden is just a cool dude. I've actually met Golden through video. Definitely doesn't look like Satoshi. But shout out to Golden. Let's see. Hang on one second. Let me just make sure. The more you need money, the more trades you will lose. The less you need money, the more trades you will win. Absolutely. That's why I always say only put into your trading account what you are willing to, when you're learning, deposit money into your trading account and look at it as buying a trading class, because there is a very high probability if you are learning, you're probably going to donate that money to the market to learn through mistakes. So 100%, I would 100% agree with that. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, Frankie, earlier this week, I asked if you're going to BTC Las Vegas, and you answered, you answered it like all my exes when I asked her where she wanted to go to dinner. Oh, God, shout out. That is a true struggle. I think that every man goes through. Hey, baby, what do you want to get to eat? I don't know. Let's go get this. No, I don't want that. Oh, my God. It's the most relatable thing on earth. But anyway, when I asked her where she wanted to go for dinner, so what's it going to be? Yes? No? Shout out to Golden. I'm not going to lie, dude. Right now, I'm not sure. If I do go, I think it's at some point, it's probably going to be a last-minute decision. I had some stuff come up, unfortunately, but I'm going to try. Shout out to Golden. Golden, are you going to be there, bro? I need to know. Golden, are you going to be there? Or is your Golden jet going to be parked on the top of the casino? Let me know. You taking this Golden helicopter? Can we do Algo? I almost said Alga. Shout out to Chadma. Let's go. Shout out to Chadma. Can you do Algo? Yeah, we can take a look at Algo. I don't have a clean new chart for this, but yo, Dremmer says, yo, Golden's going to be there. Dude, I got to meet you, bro. Oh, God. All right, yo, shout out to David Rumbelow in the chat. Welcome in, bro. Conference dump is more like it. Conference pump is an unobtained. I think I can't see what that says. Unobtainium pipe dream. I guess what that says. Shout out to David Rumbelow. Yeah, I don't know, but people always say like, oh, it always pumps during the conferences, and I'm just like, I'm agnostic. I'm always just like, am I missing something? Like, I must be missing something. Surely not a ton of people are saying that it pumps and it doesn't pump. And I'm just on the chart, like, looking at the dates. I'm like, nah, I don't see a pump ever. It's like never pumped at a conference. Crazy. I don't know. Let's see. Yo, he said, I booked a jet today, bro. That's why I asked you earlier this week. Shout out to Golden, bro. Yo, Golden just booking jets. That's yo. Shout out to Golden, bro. You're who are you? Who are you, Golden? He just goes, I'm a guy. I'm just a guy. Shout out to Golden. But anyway, but yeah, I'll let you know, Golden. I'll try to keep you updated, bro. At first, I was very confident that I was going to make it. Okay, so let's just check real quick on Algorand. Oh, my God, bro. It's already 7:50. How long have we been going for here? It doesn't say. Why can't I see the time? I don't know how long we've been going for. Over 2 hours. But hey, there we go. Shout out to all 877 of you still watching. Smash that like button, guys. We got 558 likes. Let's get to 750, baby. I think we can. We can even hit the we'll hit the stream deck button. There we go. I got a manual smash that like button. I'm just gonna click this every 5 seconds. I'm just kidding. But anyway, taking a look at Algorand here. Well, we do have an somewhat of a chart here. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely coming into resistance. I actually, pull from this swing to swing. Value area high, golden pocket daily. So I would say you break out of this value area high, looking up to about 24 to 25 cents. Break above that, 786 sitting at about 27 cents. Break above that, daily. You kind of just have a stair step of resistance here, 28 cents. Flip that daily, push into the value area low POC. Flip that to support. That's your upper value area. So yeah, I mean, you are coming into a little bit of resistance here. I will say that. But yeah, this would be, I mean, you break above this. I would say the 786, right? Because if we're going to be looking for a lower high and a lower low to continue this kind of downtrend here, I would be looking to crack that 786 to invalidate it, right? but you have the daily just above. So really got to get above about 28 cents to open the door up to about 32 to 34 cents. Flip that to support. Look up towards about 42 cents at the value area high. If you get knocked back down, like this value area high is going to be key, because if you get accepted back in, the one thing, right, that is like, I would have preferred if the POC was up here and we put that higher low in on the POC, that'd be really nice. But like right here, I'd have to dig in a little bit more. I don't have time to do it right now. I would assume this was like some kind of high time frame naked point of control. Yeah, it was a weekly MPOC. Okay, so that's a little better. I just really would have liked a little bit more to see the I would have liked a little bit more to see the POC tapped. But at the end of the day, value area high is key resistance. If you wind up losing that value area high, could potentially come back down to the POC. Just remember, laws of the volume profile do kind of state here. Break into the value area, can't get back out. POC is going to be the next stop. But with the way a lot of other things look right now, hopefully we could get above that level. And really the key level to break here, in my opinion, would be the daily at 29 cents. So you do have a little bit of work to do. So yeah, you're probably going to catch a little turbulence here. But hopefully you could just send it, break the highs, send it to the upside. But really key level here, 28, almost 29 cents. Yo, shout out to Golden, baby. Let's go. Golden dropping those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Golden, bro. You are insane, bro. You are insane. Dropping those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. I see the whole chat lighting up with those green names, baby. Let's go. Look at all the green in the chat. I love it. Shout out to Golden. Unbelievable. Taylor Made said, wow, I didn't expect that stream to still be going. Hey, let's go. The people who stayed late got some memberships. I love it. Golden, bro, we appreciate you so much. And shout out to anybody who just got a membership. Yeah, YouTube picks at random. Yo, another 50 Frankie Candles membership. Let's go. Let's go. Unbelievable. We got to reinflate Mrs. Candles here. 100 memberships. Yo, Golden, you're a menace, bro. You're an absolute menace in the best way possible. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you, Golden. Let's go. Come on, baby. Golden Child said, dang it. Just giving away that child support money. Shout out to Golden Child. Unbelievable, man. And the green names are just flying in. Shout out to Jeremy. Shout out to Loki. Shout out to Just Ricky. Now you're Ricky from the Candle Mafia. Shout out to Endry. Gen Z's green again. Let's go. Let's go. Unbelievable. Golden the GOAT. Golden the real GOAT, bro. I appreciate you so much. And they're actually not all given away just yet, guys. 83 are given away. I see them getting given away in real time. 83 new members. 87. You have to make sure that your YouTube gifting settings are enabled in your YouTube settings. Let's see. How crazy. 91, 94. Come on. Shout out to Jesse, said it's not my lucky day anymore. Jesse, make sure your gifting settings are enabled. Let's go. Golden said, there you go, Frankie. There's your plane ticket. Shout out to Golden. Oh, God. Wait, you still live? Shout out to Kembro. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. We're pumping. I didn't realize we went over so much. We're just kind of chilling. Frankie Candles After Dark. Frankie Candles After Dark. I love it. It can't be a brand account either. Shout out to Tradefly. I did not know that. There we go. 100 memberships. Golden, you're the absolute GOAT, bro. I appreciate you so much. He said he never turned it off. I wish you could, pick and choose. I'd drop a membership for you, Jesse, because you salute us as being the like police. What are we at right now? 615, 750, guys. I think we could do it. Have you checked Tau? I'll be honest. We've looked at so much stuff today that I don't know. I am literally not sure. But we could take a look. I think I did did we take a look at this? Yes, we did. I think we took a look at, I think we looked at this. I think. Do we have a Frankie song playlist? Shout out to Vegas Claw. Yes, I do believe there is one in the free Discord of all the songs that we know of. Some of them I don't even know the title of. Today we played Pump It Up. Hopefully we don't get a strike or something for playing monetized music. Let's see. ETH hasn't stopped all day crazy. Yeah, shout out to Vis Kid. Shout out to you, bro. This is more fun than the bearish time. Shout out to Jennifer, 100%. I'm not going to lie. Honestly, I don't know if I hate the bearish times more or if I hate the sideways times more. I think I hate the sideways times, right? Like when I come up here and we are looking at the same chart every day, it's so hard for me to come up with something to talk about because it's just all the same thing. And then when stuff starts moving, finally we just see something play out and I have to come up here and be like, all right, well, now we're seeing what we looked at for the past 2 weeks play out. Now we have to do some TA and hopefully things start moving again. So it gets kind of frustrating. Doesn't ETH usually lag by a week or so comparison to BTC? Yeah, usually, I mean, Bitcoin's usually the first mover. ETH then follows and drags all the alts up with it. But yeah, I do think that's going to change over time. I think it's going to change a little more over time for sure. Bearish time is for grinding, and the bull is for tequila shots. 100% Gen Z. We talk about that all the time on this channel. If you've been here in the Candle Mafia since the beginning, right? I started my channel like right here. I think it was like January. I don't think I posted my first video until February, but like what a time to start a crypto YouTube channel, right? But it was the best time ever. I'm not gonna lie. Actually, Jason Casper said this on a Twitter on Billy Goat Tales, I think it was. Shout out to Billy Goat Tales every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Go check him out. Best Twitter space on earth. But he actually said this. I couldn't agree more. He was saying that he kind of misses the bear market because the bear market is like really where I think I enjoy it a lot because that's where like the people who come in a bull market, like most people, especially new people, just kind of come in. They're like, is it going up or down? It's like in the bear market, you like really get to communicate with your community and like really interact and teach and like see the difference. And it's just like more tight knit, right? Because the people who care, the people who are going to put the work in are here in the bear market. And it's kind of, I don't know, there's like a camaraderie to, you know, being in a scary bear market, everything's falling apart, but you're also making money with you guys who I consider my friends. It's just something to it. It's like, remember that bear market? It's like, hey, we made money in this bear market, and it was super fun, super scary, super fun. So I don't know. I kind of, in a weird way, like reminisce on the bear market. Like, I can't wait for the next one almost. But not yet, not yet. I think, you know, we got some more exciting times. The bull markets are fun, too, just in a different way. It's just like celebratory, a little more energetic. It's, I don't know, it's pretty fun. Let's see. Shout out to Nihilist. I think that's what that says. Says, I remember a long time ago now. Yeah, shout out to you, bro. Smash that like button if you... Yo, Golden. Yo, Golden's going crazy, bro. Shout out to Golden. Good Lord. Good Lord. Make sure that you have your gifting enabled here so you don't miss out on the membership. Golden, thank you so much, bro. And I know the Candle Mafia appreciates you as well. Golden, bro. Tony, we got to send Golden back his money. Golden, you don't have to do this, bro. We appreciate you so much, though. This does make it so much more exciting. Sounds like a casino in here. Hey, let's go. Welcome to the Frank Candles YouTube channel, where we don't use stop losses, we don't care about strategy or risk management. We just close our eyes and long. I'm just kidding. Yo, drop those golden emojis in the chat. Start that golden waterfall if you just got a free membership. Let's go. Show your boy Golden some love. And we're at 142. We got a few more here. Come on, come on. Shout out to RJ. Let's get it. Kepo. John Connor. Let's go. Feels Good Gaming. Come on, baby. Come on. Bison 9. Let's get it. Let's get it. There we go. 100. Oh, no. 147. We still have a few more. I think, like, if we get through all the people who do not have their settings changed, I think you might have to, I think it might just wait until people start turning on their settings and then they get it. Oh, shit, Colton, you're wild, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Said, hit me up after the stream. I'll hit you up on Discord, bro. Yo, thank you so much. You're crazy, dude. We appreciate you. Start those golden emojis. You will have access to them now if you just got a membership. I know, yeah, Tony D, maybe that's a dangerous game to play. He said, knowing Golden, hey, Golden, here, you don't have to do this, man. Like, I feel bad. Here's your money back. He just sends 15 Bitcoin. It's like, okay. All right. Now it's like, but yeah, Tao, we took a look at Tao. If you scrub back a little bit, we did take a look at it. I'll just pull it up real quick. Major volume profile. I'm not going to go full into it just because if you scrub back, we already did the full analysis. But yeah, I mean, your POC, value area low POC, we're above the POC. I mean, you're just chugging along in towards that value area high. So that would be the next major target. Just understand, you know, nothing goes up forever in a straight line, at least. You're hitting a daily naked point of control, so you are hitting a little bit of resistance here. So, maybe you cool off a little bit. But if you can get above here, next major target, 495.72 at the value area high, simply put. Just be careful because you are, at that daily naked point of control resistance. And you did get a little bit of a little SFP here. So, yeah, just be aware. Hit resistance, but once you get above that, not much, honestly, in the way here of... Yeah, so technically get above the daily MPOC. I mean, you do have a daily here at about 433, a monthly at about 449, and then another daily at 464. But, the dailies are just kind of intermediary, to be quite honest. So what I would be looking at mostly is I'd pay most attention to that monthly. And then just obviously, you just have to understand it's not always a straight shot to the POC, right? So get above the daily naked point of control in the daily right here. Maybe the monthly gives you the knockback, but once you flip that monthly, I'd say 449 is going to be that level to push up into that value area high. But scrub back, we went in full detail into Tau, so just there you go. Keep an eye on that. But yo, unbelievable! Shout out to Golden, bro. Unbelievable. Let's go. Shout out to Golden to give them those 50 Frankie Candles memberships. Eric C goes, seriously? Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. He's at it again. Oh, God, Golden. You are a wild man. That is going to be 200 memberships gift. 200 memberships gifted this entire live stream. Bitcoin breaks into six figures and Golden goes nutty. Let's get it. Is that 200? Yeah, what did I say 200 or did I say 100? I might have said 100. But yeah, 200 memberships is insane. Insane. Tony D says that's 1,000 in donations, by the way. Shout out to Tony D. Golden, you are a crazy man in the best way. Thank you so much. Drop those golden emojis. Let me see the biggest. Golden shower, waterfall, golden waterfall. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it. Golden waterfall. Let me see the biggest golden waterfall. Break the chat. Let's get that chat rate up to, let's see. Chat rates right now is at a 32. Let's get it up to a 205. I think that's our record here. So spam the chat. Tony, take off slow mode. Spam the chat with golden emojis. But guys, with all that being said, that's all the time we got for today's live stream. Bitcoin sitting at our final target, not our final target, but our next major bull market target or next major target within our profile. I mean, where did we peak out at? What was it, 103? Yeah, peaked out at $104,000, just about even. But just remember, $105,000 value area high above us, and we are at resistance, so if we get that pullback, we just want to hold above the POC of the range. That's the biggest level of support that we want to stay above. But exciting times here for Bitcoin, guys. So let's see what we get overnight, and we'll check back in with you tomorrow. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Please, for the love of God, it helps us out so much. I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are family to us. Shout out to Golden. Thank you so much for the super chats from everybody, and Golden for the memberships. You're a wild man. Spam that golden emoji in the chat, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Shout out to Daniel Smith. Says, how do you claim one of those gifteds? You just got to go into your YouTube settings and make sure gifted, and you have to enable gifted memberships. I think there's a setting in YouTube that you have to have turned on that's not turned on by default. So make sure you turn it on, then you'll be able to get a membership. But yeah, I didn't know what I was going to do for the fake out, so I figured I'd answer a question. That's all I got. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you all. Hasta pasta. Frank Candles out. Bing bong!
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll.